Hey, today is a free for all. You guys can call in and we talking about prediction tonight. I hope I'll be able to bring my special guests on and we're gonna call the fights or call the upcoming fights, not just Deontay Wilder, but some of the other notable upcoming fights. So let's start to. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, T to T. You can refer to me as Miss T. This is an interesting week. This is our last day this week. I'll be back Monday, and you guys will see because I'll put out the notification. But I'll be back Monday, rest assured. And today is a free fall. Anybody who wants to come in the chat and discuss what they think about the upcoming fights. I'm supposed to have a special guest on today. So I'm going to ask that person their predictions because they're a wealth of knowledge. And I consider this person an expert in boxing, an expert. I learned a lot from him. So before we get into all that, since it's my last day, it's like Friday. Let's rock out.
Introduction, CPU's finest in the building, y'all. Oh, the BJ.
Let me know if you can hear it.
CPU collab on Congo Lands United tonight, goddamn. Huh? Hands up out of my pocket. Oh, they feeling lovely back there. Huh? We gonna do it like this here. Yo, I said, tell me how you feeling. Hey, living legends in the building. Hey, tell me how you feeling. BJ's in the building. I said, tell me how you feeling. Living legends in the building. Tell me how you feeling. Living legends in the building. Hey, BJ, you gotta shout. He's slow walking that motherfucker. He's slow walking tonight. Hey, living legends in the building. BJ, you gotta stop. Work out, BJ. You gotta stop. Hey, Ring. Slow walking. Work out, BJ. Hold it. Socket beat. Socket beat. Pump it up. We gonna wake him up tonight, Reed. Hey, BJ, hold that beat. Hey, BJ, hold that beat. Oh, they putting CPU to work tonight, goddamn. Well, get naughty and put the cap on the floor. Work style. Oh, they got him locked in, little big BJ. That's my man BJ, yo. CPU finest. We got a host of celebrities down here tonight. Come on. Turn me up just a little bit. Yeah.
Welcome to Fast Talk TV.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree, yo.
We're just going to talk about predictions.
Next up, we got my man Lil Mick.
Call me at 706-804-4449. That's 706-804-4449.
We got my man Lil Mick.
Special guest.
Put me in the pocket. Real slick, Lil Mick.
Today is like my Friday because I won't be on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Hands up out of my
Back
pocket.
Monday. Just waiting for my special guest. Hope y'all can hear me out there.
My man Lil Mick in the building, yo. The apple don't fall too far from the tree.
I put the link in the chat if y'all want to be in
You
here.
got it, Mick.
We're talking about predictions for upcoming fight this week. This week and the following weeks. That's what we're talking about. You guys can call in at 706-804-4449. Just giving a little time waiting for my special guest.
You got it, Lil Mick. Come on.
I put the link in the chat. If you guys want to leave in and tell me me your prediction while we wait on our special guest.
It's Shaka B. Coming up.
Let's start.
They'll hold that beat.
Shout out to all my Facebookers who are watching right now. I know y'all say you're on the show. Y'all can call in too at 706 804 I'm gonna go ahead and get this party started. Waiting on my special guests. They should be in here momentarily. But so let me start off with the fights that we know. We're gonna come back to Wilder. We're gonna save him for last. Because I really want to hear what my guest has to say about the fight. Let me go down. Oh, we way in December. I'm looking at the schedule, y'all. So let's work our way backwards, you know. November 27th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Showtime. It will be Fulton Jr. versus Figueroa Jr. What do y'all think about that fight? Um, that's going to be a good fight. That's actually going to be a good fight. I've seen Cool Boy Steph fight, and I've seen Brandon fight, and I'm gonna go with Cool Boy Steph. I'm just gonna go with Cool Boy Steph. They both are excellent fighters. For one, they both are. But off my phone, you know, they both are excellent fighters. But Figueroa, the only glitch in his system, and his brother fought the same way. They open. They have a weird, unique style. The way they fight, they come like overhand. They're open. You know, they're more wide, but when they're quick, you don't have an answer for it. And Figueroa Jr. is young enough. Brandon is still young enough to be quick. Because I watched when his brother started, as he got older and how he fell off. I don't know what he doing outside of boxing that would aid to his falling off. Talking about Oscar, I think his name is Oscar Omar. Oh, Omar, I'm sorry, Omar Figueroa. It's very similar to his brother who's fighting Cool Boy Steph. Steph is more of a complete fighter. I think if Brandon comes in, Brandon Figueroa comes in wide like him and his brother usually fight, I think Steph gonna have something for him that he ain't see. I really do because that's my only issue with the Figueroas, how they throw wide, you know, and they like this. It's a weird ass style, and they like almost like they either putting the top of their shoulder in your middle of your chest or the head in your chest, and they just they don't ever stop fighting. That's one thing I like about them. They apparently get their road work in because they don't ever stop working. You know, one thing you better bring your A game when you fight a Figueroa because them boys don't get tired. You know, and they will stay in your chest. They will hunt you down. They they can be in a sense relentless, but they just have all this energy and they don't care how many times they get hit. That's another thing they do. They one of those fighters that I'll take 2 or 3 hits as long as I can land one. So for Fulton and Figueroa, I'm gonna go with Fulton Jr. because he just seemed like a more complete fighter. Brandon is not a spring chicken, but he's not that old neither. And I think that Fulton gonna surprise him. So I like to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think? Oh my God, this girl went off on my phone. Hold on 1 second, y'all. And then I was mute. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Lord, I had to go fix something right quick. But yeah. So what I left off at is Brandon Figueroa and Cool Boy Steph. Uh, that is that L Dub in the building was popping King. I know this a weird it's a weird day. My little one walked off with my phone. I needed it. So uh predictions is what we talking about, L Dub. You're welcome to call in or say it in the chat or beam in. I put the link in the chat. Um, I was gonna go from the latest fight that's on the boxing schedule and work our way backwards. So between Brandon Figueroa and Cool Boy Step, I got Cool Boy Step. What y'all got? What y'all got? Cause and my reason is like I said, Brandon, that style is awkward. Them Figueroa's got a style that's very awkward and very winnable, but you know they have to. You got full to my unanimous decision. You got okay. Um, the Figueroas they good. This gonna be a good fight though, cause them boys don't stay off you. They like hunt you down, stay in your chest. It's like I was saying, he'll lean in, and then he just coming over the top with a lot of stuff. So Cool Boy Steph seemed like he got a better stance. He's he just seemed like a more complete fighter. That's all. Both of them are dogs. Both of them gonna do it. But both of them seem like they come prepared to fight. But I've never seen either one like like gas out. I mean, even if they gas out, it doesn't. They know how to push through it. So it's a hard choice. But of course, I got Cool Boy Step. I got him, and then so that's him. Uh, the Crawford versus Porter fight. What say you guys? What say you? Bud versus Porter. Y'all already know. We don't even have to say it. Y'all already know who I got. And that's Bud. To me, Bud is, again, a more complete fighter. A person who is a more complete fighter will always get the edge to me. Just because. Because I know they could do a lot of things great. Especially, that means if they, like what Porter got to offer. He's rugged. He come at you. He don't get off you. He tries to wear you out. But if you're a person that don't know how to fight going backwards, like a Virgil Ortiz, Porter, I think Porter would smash him. I don't think Virgil Ortiz has an answer for shit like that. But Bud definitely do. Bud ambidextrous. He can fight you. However, what don't he do? Is the question is, what don't he do good? You know what I'm saying? L Dub said Bud 9-3, and he messed around and stopped Porter late. That could happen if Porter. Well, Porter can take a punch. We know that, but can he take? Let everybody underestimate Bud's power. That's the thing. If Bud hit him and drop him, then I wonder what all of us gonna say. What are we gonna say? Because a lot of people think that Bud don't have power. Bud keep trying to assure people that he got power, and the people that he has fought, they don't go in depth enough to be like, that nigga got power, whatever. But I believe the momentum of Sean coming in, I just really believe that's how it's gonna end. I don't know what round. I hope Bud don't be trying to fuck around trying to figure him out, because Sean will bank some rounds by just being more aggressive and more active. So hold on, y'all. I want to see what my guess is. But I got, of course, like I said, of course, for me, I have Terrence Crawford straight up. So hold up, y'all. He said, okay. Oh Lord, hold on. Hold on, folks. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, waiting on my guest. PGH Big Dog in the building. Was popping, King? For those of you just joining me, I already put out the disclaimer. Today is my last day this week, but I'll be back Monday for sure, for sure. Um, and we're gonna have a good week, right, fellas? We're gonna have a great week, a great rest of the week. We talking about predictions. What do y'all got? We just talked about Brandon Figueroa and Fulton Jr. I got Fulton Jr. L Dub say he got Fulton Jr. And now we're moving on to Porter Crawford. Henley in the building. Was popping, King? Bud catches him around 8. That's interesting. I think Bud gonna catch him a lot in the beginning, but Sean gonna hold tight. He gonna hold strong. But it's gonna be that one time he catch him, and it might be like the 8. I don't know what round is. For some reason, I can't call a round, but I think that is he's gonna do it in devastating fashion. I don't know why I feel that, but I really think Bud gonna hurt him more than anybody else have ever hurt him. But you know what? It doesn't. If Bud does that, then some people say if he does that, that changes their mind on how they think about Bud. For me, it don't change my mind. What about y'all? He doesn't get elevated no more higher than where he is right now with me. What about y'all? PGH Big Dog said Fulton from Philly, of course. That what we do? Philly dog, Philly in the building. What the hell going on? Waiting on my guess, y'all. But yeah, so like for me, as much as I'm a Bud fan, him beating Sean Porter does not elevate him in my eyes. Doesn't make him more. It keeps him right where I thought he was. I just believe that he's gonna handle Porter. Period. It doesn't change how I feel about it. He doesn't get no extra brownie points. PGH Big Dog Crawford 75. Porter don't get KO. Stop it. We gonna see. We gonna see. Big Dog. Vincent Garzone in the building. Ecuadorian American. What's poppin', King? You said you speak. I speak Spanish a lot. Uh, that's that's nice. I'm thinking from Ecuador you would. What you say? You could translate for us, or do you speak English? You say you speak Spanish a lot. Um, said, but so strong Southern accent, but such a strong Southern accent. You been hanging around with the dirty South for a long time, Vincent. I mean, not so strong Southern. Okay, it's cool. I mean, you still can call in. We in America, we the great melting pot. We got people from all corners of the earth. Uh, you was born in Hialeah. I hope I pronounced that right. Hialeah. Vincent, come on, coach, where you at? But yeah, I got Bud. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be pretty too. God damn it. Um, it's gonna be pretty because Sean is not gonna see it. Oh, you're in Miami. Welcome to Miami. All right, are you partial? Are you biased, Vincent? I gotta ask. Folks down there, to me, just my experience, be kind of partial and everything. We tell the truth up in here. And welcome to my channel. And hopefully you'll stay with us. Even when we hear bad news and even when we hear things we don't want to hear. I'm not singling you out, bro, but I just want to be clear. It's your first time in the channel, so I want you to understand. Um, yeah, Crawford. I just and even if he fights Earl, whenever that fight may happen, I got Crawford edging out. I don't got Crawford stalling Earl. I got him edging him out. I just do. I believe in him as a fighter, just like that. But yeah. Now Porter beats Crawford. I'm gonna be like, whoa, whoa, that didn't just happen, did it? I'm gonna be hurt. I'm swear to God, I'm gonna be butt hurt. But in the end, I'll accept it because, as I said, I do want to see the best fighting the best. I'm not shielding the bud from nothing. You got to fight everybody, dog. Vincent says, so I want to do boxing. You want to be a boxer, Vincent? But I'm with my parents. You still can be a boxer. Uh, do you feel like linking in? I'm gonna put the link in the chat again. Oh, no, 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 no! I didn't just do that. Hold up. I'm gonna put the link in the chat again, y'all. If you want to chime in, Vincent, if you want to chime in, like beam in, hit that link, and that way you probably um can speak it better than writing. I don't know. I'm just going by what you're saying. Uh, DJ in the building was popping King. DJ, where you been at? When I was on there the other day, the boxing section, all y'all was tired. Y'all, the week caught up with y'all. DJ, we doing predictions. I work from the latest boxing schedule back that I saw. I started from Fulton and Figueroa, and I got Fulton, and then we on to Bud and Porter. And as I say, I can't call around, but DJ, I got Crawford running into something for real, straight up. There's the link in the chat. Anybody want to beam in? They can. Anybody want to call in 706-804-4449? And let me put this up. Oh, man. What up? So, any other takers? Hey, Vincent, what you got on the fights coming up? Are you old enough to be in here, Vincent? I have to ask because you said you with your parents. Fulton, unanimous decision. Bud, unanimous decision. Shakur, look, DJ's like, fuck that. Boom, boom, boom. So Shakur, unanimous decision. I've seen Jamal Herring fight. I haven't seen him enough to like get a good feel for him. So I'm gonna rock with Shakur only because he's a fighter I know. But I wouldn't be upset if either one of these brothers win. For both of them. Wow, unanimous decision. Bud gonna have to stop. He like I said, he's not gonna change. He doesn't get elevated to me by beating Sean. He doesn't. I'm expecting him. I like him because I think he's one of the best welterweights. So beating Sean is not gonna elevate him to me. But for the people who are not Bud fans or convinced that he's the goods, he gonna have to stop Sean. That's what he gonna have to do. I'm not shielding him from that. But for my taste, nothing changes just because he beat Sean. And I feel the same way with Danny. Now, something may change if him and Earl fought and he beats Earl, because that's the big fight right there. Which one of them is the goods? DJ said, I think Shakur Stevenson is going to style on here. Yeah, he talking like he is. So I saw something where they were saying Jamal Herring is too quiet for his own good. Like he should get in there and chop it up and get boisterous like Shakur. But I guess he feel like, nah, I'm gonna let my hands do the talking in the ring. Hold on, I'm gonna call him, I guess. I think they're having a hard time. DJ said Loma Chico TKO's coming. Oh, you think so? I don't know. DJ. Lomo is fast, but Comey, I think, is more stronger. Ah, man, he not even answering his phone. Okay, I try. PGH Big Dog says Shakur talking a lot of stuff. Shakur, yeah, he talking a lot of stuff, and I guess he's giving in to that's what they want. That's what I heard a lot of black fighters always said. It's like they got to be the villain or talk up, talk real bad or boisterous, and but they don't, you know, nobody takes them seriously or pay much attention to black fighters if they don't do that. And I want to disagree because I think where you could turn a notch up is in that ring. Instead, if you're not a talkative person, a boisterous person, where you can turn the notch up is in the ring. That's how I feel. Nobody stops Porter. Decision only versus Porter. I'm gonna have to disagree, PGH. I think if anybody gonna stop him, it's gonna be Bud. Shakur is borderline cocky for this herring fight. I believe he gets that confidence from the many sparring rounds they have together. They spar together. Oh, you know what they do? They sure do. God damn, I ain't even think about that. Oh my goodness, DJ, you dropped some knowledge. They sure do. So they know each other. They know each other next move. And it's not like Herring can say, I got something for that ass. You just wait. Keep talking, keep talking. Because if they've been sparring each other for years and years now, they know what each other got. That the probability of Herring holding something back when he in the gym with them working out and stuff is like slim to none. That's a good assessment, DJ. I wasn't thinking about that. And maybe Herring know it too. Wow. I wonder what that's gonna do for people who are betting and gambling to know that piece of nugget. Cause that's a little nugget right there. If shit, I wouldn't even like to me knowing that it's like you think Shakur is gonna win, but you would be mad as hell if you made a bet for Shakur to win and then he didn't. But he's talking like he's sure he's gonna win. Wow. And that come from familiarity. Damn. I wouldn't even want to bet on that fight. To all the gamblers out there, that's not a fight I would bet on. DJ says Shakur is a 750 favorite right now. DJ, explain to me that. I hear you guys say that. I don't understand what the 750 mean. Is that low? Is that high? What does that like mean? Like, I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you want to beam in, because I know you probably like, girl, it's gonna take me forever to explain that. I want to get up on that game. I try to, when I don't know something, I'll sit back and listen, and then hopefully I'll be picking it up. But I'm not picking it up, maybe because I don't gamble. But is that good odds? Does that mean that Shakur Stevens is a sure bet? Just like what they got Deontay now, like an underdog. he said, "Coming." He said, "I'm coming." He said, "I'm coming." That's that he left himself out of. That's too easy. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna jump on that joke. He said, "I'm coming." DJ, you will have to bet $750 to win 100 on Shakur. That don't even sound right. You have to you have to spend $750 just to win 100. Do people actually make bets like that? That doesn't even sound right. That I'm gonna come out my pocket 750 just to win 100 back. $100 prize. But I gave you 750. And see how my mind is working, DJ? $650, you just gave it to them just to be giving it to them. You're not getting that back. Now I'm sure that I'm wrong. I'm sure that I'm wrong. But is that what you saying? All right, yeah. So DJ says so. Basically, you have to bet big money on Shakur to make it pay off. Ain't no way in hell. What's a good number? DJ, tell her folks what's a good number when like ratio number or whatever where people can be like, oh yeah, I need to bet that. Is it like when it's under the decimal point? Like if it's 0.500, is that a good number? Like so somebody to jump on because yeah, this is interesting. Herring got to get dirty and make it a brawl. Shakur don't like to get touched. I believe you, big dog. I believe you. I know he don't like to lose. Salute Miss T and my brothers in the chat, Champion Heart. Hey, Champion, how are you doing? I don't know, y'all. Like DJ, like I said, what is a good number for a novice? I have a lot of casuals that watch this, like through Facebook all the time. Um, they don't know much about boxing. Um, they learning, and that's cool. But when it comes to the betting game, I'm absolutely clueless. So I just like I don't even know. Like I don't think I would ever want to do a bet like that. That 750 to every 100. Like that don't even make sense. So I'm basically asking anybody can answer this. What number is like you'll say, oh yeah, I'm gonna take them odds. Is it like 100 or is it uh point 100? I don't know. And some people like to gamble. I know in Virginia now we got casinos. They popping up all over. Virginia gonna be like a casino place. They popping up everywhere. And we do we got horse racing. We got all that stuff. I keep saying we like I still live there, but it's my home state. But and you got that little that it's like a cage or something. You can go up to it and make place bets. Active is in the building. What's popping, King? Wow. Hold on, y'all. What's up? I got you on speaker. No, no, no. Look, I sent you a link to your Gmail. No, I sent it to your Gmail. No, I sent it to your Gmail. What you can do is go into YouTube. Go into your YouTube on your phone. You can do that too. Go into. Okay, cool. Okay, go in. Yeah. If even if you go into your YouTube on your laptop, look up Boxing Fans Talk TV, and then just click the live where it says live, and then you will be in our chat automatically. And I put the invite in the chat as well. But basically, when I send it to your Gmail, all you gotta do is I don't know what it look like on the end, but it's fairly easy. Like you just click the link. Boxing Fans Talk TV. Yeah. So put an S on the fans as well. And so you kind of on live now because I got you on speakerphone. But yeah, either way, it's different ways you could do it. But I sent it to your Gmail, so if you had opened up your Gmail, you would see the email from me, and then you just click the link and it'll pop you up automatically. DJ got Wilder is a plus 255 underdog, which means if you bet 100, you could win 355. DJ, you be knowing this stuff, huh? Shit. I'm thinking about becoming a gambler for a tick. for just no, for just for this fight. If his eyes are like that, just for this fight. Because I know I'm going to be on them slot machines for sure. You see it, Coach? Mm. Yeah. So I'm just talking to the people in the chat. So got it. Mm. Cool beans. So yeah. So of course, uh, a active activist. Did you put in who you got? So far, we talked about Jamal Herring and Shakur Stevens, Bud and Porter and Figueroa and what's that? Fulton, Cool Boy Step. Who you got active activists? You said I'm about to go spend 20 on the Powerball. Ah, what's it up to, Pat? DJ said, I'm cooking my dinner right now, Miss T. I can't get on. Cool beans. Boxing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to actually shoot you a text. Still there? It's exactly how it looks. If you go into your YouTube, that's exactly what you pull up. And then you'll see a bunch of videos. The one that has live in the corner in bright red, that's the one you click. You'll wind up in my chat. And then I put the invite, it's a link. You'll see once you get in here, just say, hey y'all, and I'll see you here. And I put the invite in the chat and then you'll pop up. Active, it says 670 mil. That's a lot. Wow. And that come out tonight, active activist. You got Heron, wow, Wilder and Bud. Don't know about the Figueroa fight. What? Oh, you not a Shakur Stevens fan? Active activist? I don't know. I said I'm going with Shakur because that's who I know. I know him better than I know the other guy. I've seen the other guy fight. I'm more familiar with Shakur and his abilities. But if all this crap that he been talking lately and he wind up get his ass handed to him, then it's gonna be like, oops, oops. You see it? Okay, say something in the chat. Cause you should be okay. DJ says, yeah, the Powerball is well over $500 million. Woo! As soon as I get off, I'm going to buy one. I'm going to give me some too. I won't end. You, oh Lord, you like me when you mess with this technology. Active activist said it's gonna have to be another upset, and I don't want to be Wilder or Bud. Yeah, I damn sure don't want it to be Wilder. If anybody win the fight this year, it better be Wilder. Everybody else is like, How y'all feel about the Teofimo Lopez thing getting canceled? Have anybody heard anything? Birdman in the building was popping King. He said, salute Miss T and the chat. I'm working but listening. I'm sorry. I'm late. Salute to everyone in the chat. You good over here, Birdman? We just talking about predictions and who we got. For me, I got Fulton Jr. over Figueroa. I got I know we skipped past Canelo and all that. We didn't even get that far. But DJ had brought us up to October fights, Shakur and Herring. So I got Shakur in that one. Y'all know, of course, I think we all on the same page with Wilder. DJ said now he's gotta fight Devin. Who? You talking about between Shakur and Herring? They, oh, you talking about Tio? My bad. I gotta keep up with my own question. I asked y'all how you feel about the cancellation. But actually, DJ, you know what's gonna happen. If George Campbell, because it went to Eddie Hearn, the whole event got moved to Eddie Hearn. But if they don't fight, if George don't agree, and let's just say George say fuck it, and nobody can really blame him because he the innocent person in this. Uh, if George say fuck it and just get out and skedaddle, then the person that's gonna be the mandatory is none other than Isaac Cruz. Y'all heard me talk about it and Fred show a long time ago. He will be TO's mandatory in place of George Cambosa. DJ said, yeah, TO. That's what's gonna happen. So Eddie, we don't know. Eddie act like he don't want it. And if Eddie pass on it, then it goes back to Bob. And like I said, that I can't see if Cambosa is going to fight him, he better make a decision. But Cambosa was not happy with Trilla, and Cambosa act like he want to sue them and everything, and he had standing. He could take them to court because both of them could, but To would look kind of crazy, like he just jumping on the bandwagon. But he still could because Trilla didn't. Trilla is the one who defaulted, not the fighters. So George can say, "Look, I'm suing you for that purse and emotional damage because one, we know fighters got to meet weight. That's the bad part about Triller. It's almost like they don't take that in consideration or they forgot about it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what's up with my guest. Uh, are you in here, Coach? Are you in here? Say something in the chat so I know. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's all, and all of this could be a like a process because all parties are deservingly of due process, and when you have due process, that could take time, which sucks for the fans, but it can buy To some time. Maybe he wanted time off. I'm personally believing that a lot of fighters. Is that you, Coach? Knuckle game. Okay, is that you? Okay, yeah. All right, Coach. I'm gonna copy this link and I'm gonna put it in the chat. It should be right up under you. Come right up under you. You see it? Got my face over here. Click that link. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, George Camboso have every right to said my mic is too low. Can y'all hear me now? Hold up. Y'all tell me these things when y'all come in. Yeah. What's up, Coach? You couldn't do it? It'll show you a picture. It'll show you a picture. When you beam in, you have a choice to show your face or your picture, and you should see it in front of you. Tell you what, when you beam in, I won't show you until it's showing me that you got your picture up instead of your face. Okay. All right. Okay. So, can y'all hear me now? Turn this thing up. Because I was turning out the music. Y'all know me. I was jamming to go-go music earlier. But anywho, active activists say it says allow. I think I fixed the mic now. Okay. I don't want it because sometimes it's like I either have it too loud or too low. Can't never have it in the middle. But yeah, getting back to George Camboso, he got a raw deal. I think he's the innocent one. I've said that before. I'm not mad at T.O. for betting on himself, trying to get something better. I mean, you just beat the top notch person in Teofima. Said device is not connected. Mm. Coach, try again. It said device is not connected. I don't know what's up, but how about this, Coach? If it's not working, there's a number at the bottom of my screen that says 706-804-4449. Call that number, and then it just be like a phone call. You'll be coming through, but again, we wouldn't see you. 706-804-4449. But yeah, like I said, Cambosa, he's weighing his options. The also we all know that they lost that deposit they had to get to the IBF. That gets split between T.O. and Camboso. So they not walking away empty handed. But I would be mad too if I have a date and then you move the date and move the date. And when they had it October 5th, I was thinking it was a good day, me personally, but I don't watch baseball. So of course it's a good day to me. But to all the people who watch baseball, that's not a good deal. And it was Red Sox and the Yankees. So I guess that's a big game. So they moved it backwards instead of moving it forward or moving it to Thursday or putting it on. It was so many options that they could have did, but they didn't. They didn't, and nobody knows why. Because I would have threw them guys on one of them Triller cars for sure and just called it quits. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do it. And they so busy trying to make the money. Once you saw that you lost your money, just call it quits. Just try to, have a salvage program or something. But I'm not mad totally at T.O. A lot of people gonna get mad at T.O. See, that's the thing. It's hard for me to get mad at people because they're bad business. I don't get angry at stuff like that. The active activists say that's a huge game. That's like the Cowboys versus anybody on Thanksgiving. True that, true that. Like I said, I'm not knocking baseball. I don't watch it, but I know enough about baseball that Yankees is a big team. So Champion Heart said at PGH Big Dog Salute. Um yeah, so that's why they moved it from the fifth to the fourth. And then it was like, voila, duh. Monday night football, American football, you're not competing with. You're just not. That's why I say, why didn't they just move it? Thank you, to Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or throw it on one of the many Triller events that they've had so far and cut their losses. But Triller don't want it no more. And Camboso, he ain't going for the okie doke. So it don't matter. You know, that's just how they see it. Um, but I don't, the date is supposed to be October 16th, but they haven't proved that they even got a venue. And as far as George Cambosa is concerned, you didn't put the money in escrow. And I know most men, it's women too, but most men, especially in this boxing game, y'all ain't making the move without seeing your money, right? That's not good. Now that's just stupid. If the money's supposed to be in the escrow so that you can at least see it's there, then what you doing? Okay, I'm gonna add him to the stream. Coach G, what's popping, King?
Hold on, don't do it yet.
Wait a minute. Uh, okay, we're gonna tell me when you ready. Cause we didn't see you or nothing. We didn't see you, but yeah, that's what's going on. And so, a lot of things can happen, but in the end, Trilla messed them own self up. And T.O., you have a part to play in it. And I'm a T.O. fan. And I'm not gonna jump ship because T.O. he's not good at business. He's just not good at business. So, you know, what we gonna do about that? Like I personally don't care. Like at this point, I'm over it. I would have liked to see the fight. If they ever fight, then that's cool. But I'm not pressed. I'm not mad at T.O. I'm not even mad at Triller, but Triller fucked that up. In my opinion, Triller has the biggest blame. DJ, yeah, Triller still hasn't paid Mike and Roy. Last I heard, what? Now come on now, what? And they moving like that in these streets? Mm-mm. Hey, coach, text me when you ready because I can't tell unless I add you in. I see you. You in there. You sitting on my desktop, but I can't add. You told me to hold tight. So I'm holding. Just text me on my phone right here when you ready to jump in. So yeah, that's what's going on with them. And you know, it's unfortunate for us. That was part of our summer disappointments. But um maybe Trilla needs somebody from the boxing world to get with them before they think they want to go down this boxing streets again, because they obviously ain't got a clue. Um, but getting back to these predictions, so we skipped past a whole lot of stuff. We had what about Benavidez and his opponent? Let me go to the schedule to see the dude name, because I the only person I heard was Benavidez. Uskatiki. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Let me tell y'all, Uskatiki, they build this dude up. They build him up. Y'all saw on Fred's show. I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust my clothes. Y'all saw on Fred's show that Lonnie B came in and he was talking about how he got dealt the raw deal. Well, he beats Uskatiki. I saw the fight. I went back and watched it. I didn't catch it when it came out, but I went back and watched it. Easily beat him. Uskatiki is another Latino fighter, not trying to bring race, but it seems like they is, when they try to spruce up and big up these fighters, and they just average. Um, he squares up. He's average, and the only thing that makes them great is their youth. But y'all know time stands for no one. You ain't beating Father Time. I don't care who you are, and that shit that work when you young will not work when you get older. So you gonna have to learn how to have a bigger bag of tools or tricks to dig from or what. But Uskatiki was never the goods to me. When I saw his fight, DJ said, yeah, they had, yeah, I already said that. And that's unfortunate if Triller is, like I said, making moves like that. That's why I'm not blaming Cambosa for what he doing, because Cambosa said, wait a minute now, you haven't even put the money in escrow like you supposed to. That way all parties can see it. Because once you put it in escrow, even Triller probably couldn't pull it out. It has to go to the fighters, right? So if you haven't even done that and y'all ain't paying up people, man, I know y'all dudes don't play with y'all money. I know every dude in here ain't playing with them. I know active activists personally don't play with his. You ready, Coach G?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
All right.
Speak louder though, but we can hear you. I'm gonna turn you up a little bit.
All right.
Can everybody hear Coach G?
Testing, testing.
Yeah. Somebody let me know. Can y'all hear? I'm turning it up a little bit
I
because I don't
can't
know.
hear anybody.
Huh?
I don't hear anybody. I only hear you.
Yeah, I'm the only one talking. Nobody
Okay.
called in.
Okay.
So you see how the screen is. You see me, then there's you on the
Yeah.
side.
You
Oh,
see
I like
me?
the little emblem.
Yeah.
So first, how you doing? How was your day?
Pretty good.
The baby sleep?
Yeah, he's knocked out.
Wow. Who was y'all sparring today?
Didn't get a chance to spar. We are supposed to be going over to Hank gym, but we didn't get a chance to spar today.
Is that in South Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I went to that one, right?
I think so.
That one is like makeshift,
In the
nothing
hood.
like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
one.
They got
That
a new spot now.
he do.
Yeah, I haven't even been to the new gym yet, but they got a new spot.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So, introduce yourself. Tell them what you about. Promote your stuff.
I just want to listen right now.
Come on, dog. He's a boxing coach, y'all. He used to box. He trained all his sons. He's excellent at what he do. And y'all gonna be hearing from his son, Caden, right? If you think Caden gonna continue once he become an adult,
I don't know. That's all they talk about for right now.
okay,
You know, anything can happen.
true, true. All his sons can box. Um, he believes in boxing, period. Like, the true fundamental skills of boxing. He don't believe in that fluff. He don't believe in doing like extracurricular stuff because you everybody can be tough, but can you box? And that's what I learned from him. Can you box? Are you into the fundamentals, the sweet science? And as far as coach is concerned, if you got that down pat, you could beat anybody. Am I stepping over? Am I saying it correct, coach?
Nah, you good.
Okay. So I brought you on because I want to hear your predictions because I'm gonna tell you every time you say something, you're usually right. You're usually right.
You building me up too much.
Hey, look, stop being
You know this
humble.
boxing shit, man. Anything can happen. I've been lucky.
Can happen, but you're usually right. You've been doing it a long time, so I know he is a nice, humble guy, but he know what he talk about, and he usually right. And I love our conversations. So I'm gonna take you back to the first fight I was predicting. Now I said I had Fulton Jr. versus, between Fulton Jr. versus Figueroa, and I had Fulton. Which one you got?
You talking to me?
Yeah,
I don't
talking to
even care about that fight. I can't stand the Figueroas. I can't stand the style. I don't like nothing about them. That fight don't interest me at all.
why you don't like the Figueroas? I gotta ask.
I don't like their style of fight. You just said I like boxing, right?
Right?
They're so sloppy. I like it's not even entertaining to watch. They eat 1,000 punches just to get one. I don't like that style of fighting, so it don't interest me. Now this Jamal Herring and Shaquille Stevenson fight, that's gonna be a chess match. That's gonna be a real boxing match.
That one is.
You're gonna
Who
see a lot of smart boxing in that fight.
you think both of them are great boxers?
Um, not Herring is a good boxer, but I don't think he's on Shakur Stevenson's level.
Mm. So DJ made a good point too because I think Jamal trains out there with Bud and them, and so does Shakur and them. They all cool. So DJ said Shakur talks like he knows something.
He
He
does.
talking a lot of crap, and Jamal is not responding much.
Yeah, he's been real humble and quiet. I see him just shaking his head, nodding, and letting Stevenson have the mic, letting Stevenson have the show, talking a lot. But my man can back it up.
Okay, so you got 50-50 with that.
No, I don't got 50-50. I don't think it's a 50-50 fight. I know it's a dangerous fight because my man can punch, but he's also kind of chinny. What this guy's almost knocked that he was knocked out before, right?
Jamal.
Yeah. I seen him hurt more than one time in fights.
Yeah, I think he like was kind of like a Tevin Farmer story. Like he had to come back and rededicate himself. Like and when he came back and rededicate, he got better.
He has a lot of
As
flaws,
in
is
the
all I'm
building,
saying.
popping king. Right? I'm sorry. Go ahead, coach.
I say he has a lot of flaws. You can't have a lot of flaws fighting Shakur Stevenson.
Okay. So you
He's gonna
think?
get exposed.
All right. So let me pick somebody else off this list. Uh, we did. You didn't talk about Crawford Porter. We did a little bit. What you got on that one?
You talking to me again?
I'm always talking to
Oh,
you,
okay,
coach,
okay, okay.
my guest.
You said who?
Crawford
Porter
Porter.
and Crawford.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think this gonna be the first time we see Porter get knocked out.
See, I know. Look, just by you saying that, I'm
Hmm.
feeling so good because I was like, I'm telling y'all, coach, you can be humble all you want. A lot of shit you say be true and be right. And I said the same thing. I said, I think Porter is going to run into some shit.
Hmm.
He ain't going to see it coming.
That's what I'm saying. He's very aggressive. He come forward, but he hasn't fought a puncher like Crawford. Crawford is not your regular puncher, man. He can knock you out with both hands, and he's so smart, and he can disguise his shots. You don't see his punches coming. He warm up kind of slow, so I'm gonna give Porter the first couple of rounds because he comes in hot. He comes in when the bell ring, but round 3, 4, 5, you're gonna see him start getting picked apart. He's gonna get set up, and Crawford gonna catch his ass and hurt him.
Oh, I definitely believe that. The active activist said Bud going to eat him up. Porter too aggressive for Bud. We kind of like all saying the same thing. That's what I said. When Porter first came out, and I've been watching Porter for a long time. I always was a fan. I do not hate or dislike Porter. But I was like, this boxing, not football boxing. And I was like, can you just not act like you about to tackle somebody?
That's
It
his style.
Yeah, but then for a while, I actually went on this moment of not liking Porter just because of that. And then I said, you know what? Like you just said, that's his style. How I'm gonna hate the dude for doing what he naturally do.
Right.
But I can assess him in regards to how you just said on he's not on Crawford's level.
No,
Not
he's definitely not on Crawford's level.
not
He's
even
not on
close.
Crawford. He comes forward, but he's not. He don't think. Crawford is a cerebral fighter, man. Everything is planned. Like he knows exactly what he's doing in the ring at all times. Porter rushes a lot. He rushed too fast to be thinking clearly about what he's doing. He's just trying to constantly apply pressure and throw punches and bunches. That's not going to work against a guy like Bud. Bud is tough enough to deal with that. He's strong enough to deal with that. He also is big enough to deal with that. And it worked a little bit with he had some success against Spence, but
Yeah.
Spence is not Bud Crawford. Those punches that he was taking from Spence, he ain't gonna take them punches from Bud. You're gonna see a huge difference when Bud start landing them shots on him. He's gonna start behaving differently, and he ain't gonna keep coming forward. The minute he stopped coming forward, he probably gonna run into something, and get caught, and get dropped and get hurt early. But I'm looking, if that doesn't happen, and he said he can take some of those punches, he can't continue to fight the way he's fighting. He's gonna start backtrack. He's gonna start backing up. He's not gonna be able to stand there and take that shit.
He gonna try to box like he did Ugas.
And that's the biggest
Not a better.
mistake. He
Yep.
cannot outbox Crawford. His only chance is to go 100% and go at him and attack, 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 attack.
Mhm. Eric Gomez in the building. He said Bud gonna uppercut Porter coming in. That's what we saying. Yeah, he gonna catch him.
It's gonna be one of them
Henry
hooks.
said, "Hey, didn't I tell you?" Yes, King. And then active activists say Bud a country boy. He gonna handle it most definitely. But now what do you say, Coach? This is Coach G, by the way. And if y'all got any questions for Coach G, you can write it in the chat or you could call in. My number is 706-804-4449. But Coach G, what do you say when people say that Bud ain't got no power?
They don't follow boxing.
That's a
Because if you
nice
follow
way.
boxing and you follow his career, you know he got power. I mean, he's on the seven streak knockout streak. He's knocking out people who haven't been knocked out before. He just came in and knocked out the dude who beat the shit out of Pacquiao. That's his introduction into the 147 division.
Jeff Horn, yeah.
Yeah, that
So
dude could take a punch,
and yeah, I
and
thought
he's
he was
big.
a rugged person.
He walks around like 170 pounds.
Right.
He's a big guy.
He thought he could out muscle or wrestle.
Right, and he
Probably,
got knocked. He got knocked out.
yeah. Now you know what people, well, other people say this too, that the Bud ain't fought nobody. He fought all tomato cans.
Really?
Look at that.
He didn't fight anybody. Okay, let's pick the first person that everybody said he got hurt by.
Okay.
Who was
Yeah,
that?
who was that? Gamboa.
Gamboa. Gamboa was once the hottest fighter in boxing when Crawford fought him. His
He
career
was.
didn't fall off until he signed with 50 Cent. Then he started to fall off. But when he fought Crawford, a lot of people picked him against Crawford.
Mhm.
Crawford was actually the underdog coming into that fight, and he beat the hell out of him.
And Gamboa. I don't think he was defeated at that point.
He was undefeated.
Defeated.
Right, but they forget about that once he beat him and move on.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the little dude name with the big mouth from Philadelphia? I think he's from Philly.
Lundy. Lundy.
Hank Lundy.
Yeah, Hank Lundy.
That's another slick boxer. That's another good. Anybody can't beat Hank Lundy at that particular time. He demolished Hank Lundy.
He
It was
did.
easy work. These
Remember
are very skilled technical fighters that he just walked through and knocked them out. Let me
what
see
about
who.
this is all Crawford at the 135 division, y'all.
Right, right. But that's where most of them get their skills at. They fight low and then they move up.
Right. And so remember Diary Jean, the Canadian dude, but I think he
That's another dude that could box.
yeah, now Canada big this dude up like he was the second coming.
Well, he was a good fighter.
Yeah.
He was a really good fighter. Tough, in shape, dedicated. He was a very good fighter. And Crawford knocked him out too.
Yeah. Active activists said they got crazy as hell. We thought Gamboa was next coming.
Right. Until he ran into Crawford.
And then he said, exactly, Bud walking through these up and coming race. Yeah.
And then they
Uh,
say they ain't nothing. They did the same thing to Floyd. They
yeah.
build him up, and then when Floyd beat him, then they take all the credit away and say, "Oh, you ain't fighting nobody."
And then what about Delorme? Remember that?
Who?
Delorme. Bud fought him too.
What weight?
Um, why I want to say 140.
140.
He
Is
might have.
that the African dude?
No, that's in Dongo.
And Dongo.
You can speak
And
out the name, jump out of turn. I'm just throwing names at you.
yeah,
Cause
and
yeah, I can't stand what the people say about Ndongo because regardless if you think he a tomato can or not, that's an opinion that we all can have. I don't think much of Ndongo either, but he had the belts.
yeah, but he's not. He wasn't on the other tough guys we just named. He wasn't on their level,
No, he
But
wasn't.
he was a threat. Like he could hurt other people. But Bud Crawford is just a different type of fighter, man. He's a special type of fighter. He's super humble. He's a gym rat. He's a student of the game. Like he's constantly he's a skill. He's all skill, man. Whatever you can do, he can do right handed. He can do left handed. He can do everything. He brings stuff to you that you don't see with everybody else.
Right. And all of that stuff matter about how you place your feet, the movement, and he makes it look like he ain't even doing it.
He look natural southpaw. He like a natural. He look better fighting southpaw than most real southpaws.
Yeah, he do.
That's how skilled he is.
What about Diaz, Felix Diaz?
He
Uh,
knocked him out too,
yeah, handle that
and
dude.
that was an Olympian.
Yeah, and that dude Olympian gold medalist.
Yes, but you have to be a fool to say he was nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have
What
to be a fool to say he was nothing. He
and like
knocked him out.
he ain't nothing. I be like, he's Cuban, right? Wasn't he from Cuba?
And
Or what?
Cuban got one of the best amateur teams, which is where you get your skills at in the world. That's why they always winning.
Yeah, for all my casuals out there listening in Facebook, if y'all ever hear us say Cuban fighter, just know that they like already top echelon by virtue of the fact that
They
they
built from the ground up.
yeah fundamentally sound
Hmm.
for him. So then I can't remember, but did Crawford have two belts? Was he unified at 135 or not? Just one belt.
I don't think he was unified down there,
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
And his championship belt, how he became a champion at 135, he went overseas to fight. I think the dude name was Ricky Burns, right?
Yep, he beat Ricky Burns too. Ricky
Yeah,
Burns, well, no, they always hype their European fighters up.
yeah. He beat him, basically going across the pond to take a belt. Others do it too, but he did do that. So what about when he went to 140? See, this is like everything you saying, coach. This is what I was seeing with Crawford from way in the beginning. I was seeing it. I remember watching Crawford when he had that. I did not like this hairstyle. I don't know if he was locks or he was trying to dread. I couldn't stand it.
I think he had braids, cornrows. No, I think he did have dreads at one time.
He was trying to do dreads or something. I was like, in the whole time when he come on, I was like, man, cut that shit off. Like, no. And then he cut his hair. I said, now we cooking with grease. Now we cooking with grease. Because it was hard to, take him seriously with those if the hairstyle wasn't for him. But moving to 140, okay. What about when he fought Victor Posto? Was that a tomato
That's
head?
another good fighter. Victor Poster was another good one. See, they forget about these guys. Victor Poster was running through opponents. He's another guy that a lot of people was actually dodging. Didn't even want to fight him.
He
He was that was a tough fight that Crawford made. A tough fighter that Crawford made look easy. He played with him.
changed up his style when he fought him. Because I was like, what we have been used to seeing. I'm skipping over some of his fighters, but I've been used to seeing all his fights. And when he fought Victor, it seemed like he went in the two bag, pull out another style. He just fought him differently. That fight looked differently than most of his other fights. What
Very
about
versatile.
uh, was it Colazo or Beltron?
I
One
don't
of
think he didn't fight Colazo.
you sure?
No, I don't think he fought Colazo. It must have been Beltron. It was Beltron. He didn't fight Colazo.
Because in
Keith
my head,
Thurman fought Colazo.
so Hey, y'all in the chat, active activists, y'all look up to see if Bud ever fought Collazo. I want to keep with this interview, but I remember Bud uh got hit or somebody like I might be confusing Collazo with another fighter, but he hurt the person. Like in my head, I'm thinking it's Bud, like he hit him in the stomach, and Bud, had to. I don't know what the guys do when they know they hurt each other, but I remember Collazo, or it might have been Bell trying to be like, yeah, nigga, yeah, you ready for this shit?
Mm.
And then he went on to beat Collazo ass. Like even if it's Beltran, Beltran was a good fighter to me. Collazo was all right, but Beltran, I think the business of boxing kind of diminished him, but just from the mud, that motherfucker a good fighter too. Um, who else he fought at 140? You remember anybody else at 140 he fought?
I have to pull it up. I seen all his fights, man. I just have to.
Yeah,
It's so a while ago. I have to pull him up and look at the list.
but
But he's beat a
yeah,
lot of good fighters.
to me, none of those people was tomato cans because when you look at their record, it's not like they had more losses than they did wins.
But
They had decent records.
a lot of times you can't even look at the record either. Look at Sean Porter. Sean
Yeah,
Porter's a good fighter. He fought. He's by the time his career is over, man, this dude has done fought everybody. But he's lost a lot of those fights. But all those fights were competitive. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you beat him or not, they were. Bud's gonna be the first person I believe just blow through him and beat him down.
easy. And then so he gets undisputed. And I know everybody don't think much of Ndongo. And then after Bud fight him, what's his name? Regis Prograde go and fight him, gets rid of him. I guess a little quicker than Bud did. None of that matters. And after the fact, Bud becomes undisputed. I thought that was the goal of all boxers to become champion, unified, and then undisputed. Am I wrong,
That's what
Coach?
it should be. But you got fighters like Canelo, and I know they probably get mad, and Pacquiao. They pick and choose. They fight for vacant titles. Like Canelo, one of his fights, he just pulled a guy off the couch. This guy was retired for 2 years, and in the last two fights he had before that, he lost both of them and was knocked out in one of them. And that's who he called to fight for Benavidez's title. A dude off the couch who wasn't even training.
Yildrum or
Yes,
that dude? Okay,
that's him.
yeah.
This dude was off the couch. I mean, he just came to get a paycheck. But and they fought for the vacant title of Benavidez's belt. But when Benavidez was holding that belt, Canelo didn't want nothing to do with that belt. So it's too much picking and choosing, man, and they destroying the sport. It's really making it not fun.
Hold on, Coach. Somebody just pulled into the beam. It's KW. Who is that? I'm interviewing right now, so I'm gonna have to hold you in a holding pattern until I finish interviewing with Coach. But oh, nothing. That's you.
Somebody supporting me.
Right. Yeah, okay, it's out. I was gonna say we have to be in a holding pattern. If y'all want to ask Coach a question, he wealth of knowledge. Y'all can call in though 706-804-4449 or put it up in the chat, and I will read the question. Reggie Bell in the building was popping king. So when, like I said, when I go back to the Crawford thing, I'm looking at the fact that the man was undisputed. Okay, and I know people be going crazy with this pound per pound. They have their way of picking. First of all, Coach, when it
Hmm.
comes to pound for pound, I do not put cheaters or known cheaters on my pound
Yeah,
for
once you get caught cheating, there, I can't put you there because once a cheater, always a cheater in my book.
exactly. We must have grew up around the same time. This is like that notion is gone these days, but it's the only logical answer. Once a cheat, always a cheat. You don't wake
Hmm.
up in the middle of your career and start cheating. So sorry, people, Canelo fans, he will never go on my pound for pound. He ain't shit to me. I can't assess him. The only thing that I could do, I could compare him to Pacquiao, who was a better cheater. That's all I could do. So
Right.
a lot of people get mad, but through
Canelo whole
Pacquiao,
camp is cheating.
exactly.
All of them getting caught.
Exactly. I'm just waiting on Ryan to pop. I'm waiting on
Oh, that's why he just took this time off to
yep,
clean himself out. He said he had some mental issues now. He didn't want to get caught, so he took this time. That's just my opinion. He took
yeah.
this time off to cycle out of that stuff, get it out of his system. The
And cheat
next one I think is going to be Andy Ruiz. Remember how fat he was?
I, dog,
He
I
went he went to Canelo camp and look at him now. Now he's ready for bodybuilding contest. You know, all that fat is gone.
I said the other day, if the shit true, Andy and Eddie Renuso, I need y'all to write a book. That's gonna be a New York seller's bestseller for like 12 months. That's
Yeah,
what it's
they.
gonna happen because they found the genie in the bottle for weight loss. Cause that motherfucker was huge, won't he?
Yeah, he was, and now he's getting solid. All that fat just melting off of him.
And he couldn't do that for himself before
All these years.
all these years.
Right.
An excellent boxer. Don't get it twisted. I ain't never saying that he not an excellent
Now
boxer.
he can fight.
Yeah, but he don't like the weight. Well, dude, I mean, there's all kinds of ways. There's all kinds of ways that you can get the weight out, but Eddie seems to know the way, the perfect way. But I read about. I'm gonna want your take on that too. So I did a show where I was talking about Eddie Reynoso's response to Caleb Plant bossing up and studding up and saying what need to be said and slapping the fire out of goddamn Canelo.
Hmm.
So Eddie's like, they butt hurt because he brought it up, and other fighters don't want to do it because they feel like, is it a such thing like a person like on Canelo's level can actually ban fighters? You don't want to speak up. You know how we're in the military. You be careful of who you talk to because a high ranking person could call somebody high ranking where you work at and be like, man,
Right.
this, that, and that. You think that goes on in boxing?
That goes on in every form of business, everywhere. And boxing is a business. Yeah, it goes everywhere. Canelo make a lot of money. Those guys make a lot of money off of those fighters. So they're gonna protect them. They're gonna protect them.
They're gonna protect their brand. Eddie
Hmm.
actually said, Eddie Renuso, Canelo's trainer, I don't know what they doing when they leave the gym. I just train them. I was like, he has got to be the most suck ass leader I've
That's
ever
a
heard.
lie.
What
That's
you mean
just
you
to
don't
get him out of the equation. He knows they're a team.
know?
You're a coach. You're gonna know what your fighter is doing. You his coach.
Yeah. Look, Reggie Bell says Bud may get exposed this fight. He might win, but Reggie, nah, bro. Sean gonna get exposed. That's
Hmm.
what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Sean gonna catch them hands running up in there, and that's all he wrote. They be like, "Damn, we gonna go back to Bud." But there's so much news that been out here lately, Coach. I just be wanting your take on it. So Bud, what damn. My bag, look, it happens. I had something on the tip of my tongue. What was we talking about, Coach? About Bud?
We
Oh,
left Bud alone, and we was talking
yeah,
about
we
something.
did, but where I had left off.
Hmm.
So, so when Bud became undisputed, that meant he automatically, when he moved up in weight, could go fight for a title. Okay, he could have. I believe he did call out Keith Thurman. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong,
The
Coach.
first person he called out was Earl Spence.
Was
And
it?
Yeah, and Earl said, if you want to see it, go to that video where they're behind the scene and they're talking. Remember they ran to each other in the
Yeah.
back?
Was that when he first got there? I thought he was there
No, no,
for.
no, no. He was talking about that time when he came. He said, when I moved up, I asked you for a fight, and you told me I didn't have a belt, so I need to go get a belt first. You didn't
Oh,
want to fight me then because there was no money in it. So you told me to go get a belt. So he went the route. He wanted to go straight to Spence or Pacquiao. They didn't want that. So he said Spence told him to get a belt. So he went to get a belt from the guy who
Jeff.
beat Pacquiao, Jeff Horn. And
Y'all
then he
hear
came
that?
back. Then he came back to fight Spence again. And Spence said right then out of his own mouth that he chose another route. He chose to fight. He'd rather fight Garcia or Porter and not him. And then that's when Crawford was like, "Oh, you think you smart, but you ain't that smart." You know, if you watch the video, they both sitting there telling you everything that was going on. Spence
Mm,
do not want that fight. No matter what his fans say, no matter if he wanted that fight would have been made a long time ago. Crawford would have got that fight when he first came into the division. Spence don't want that fight. He know he's not going to make it. I think he would have had a better shot at winning if he had fought him then. Now after this accident, I really think that accident took something out of Spence. He didn't look right to me when he fought Garcia. He didn't look the same.
You think he gonna be able to come back with from the eye injury?
Not even just that eye injury, man. The man had most of his teeth knocked out from slamming his face on the concrete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your jawbone. Like, there's no way he can be 100% after something like that.
Yeah,
Eh,
it's a medical fact that mostly there's more nerves in your mouth than anywhere else.
Yeah, he got all his teeth knocked out from slamming on the concrete. So
Mm.
that's gonna be easy work, I believe, for Crawford.
Yeah, and see, like you can't really say that out there. See, that's why I love you, Coach C, because you can break that shit down better than I could. Um, I don't dislike Spence, and that's the crazy part. Like a lot of times, you'll find yourself talking to some fans, and it's like because they love Earl so much, whoever Earl don't like, they don't like. I'm not that way though. Like
That's a lot of boxing fans are like that.
really,
They ride what they got to the end.
but they be disliking the potential opponents. Like
Right.
I, Bud is my guy. He's my top guy in the welterweight, and wherever Bud go, period. I'm a Bud fan. However, it don't mean I have to dislike his opponents. I don't
Right.
dislike Sean Porter. I don't dislike anybody that Bud fought. Except and I don't really like him or dislike him, but that guy, De'Aaron Jean, when Bud fought him and he told him at the end, you got what you looking for,
Mhm.
find what you looking for. Remember that?
Right.
And I was like, well shit, he must have pissed Bud off.
That's when he was like saying it over the referee's shoulder while he was stopping. Was that the fight?
When he was standing over his shoulder.
Like when the referee stopped the fight, and I think he was standing behind him, like
Yeah,
saying
oh
it to him
yeah,
after the fight.
it could have been.
Yeah, I think that was.
Bud is a
But
beast. You hear me?
Bud is, yeah, he's so humble, man. I told you I met him down in Kansas City, and at the amateur fight with Zion, when Zion fought the ringside tournament, I sat there and talked to him for a while. Like he just like he's so normal, man. He sat there, we didn't even know he was sitting there. And like one of the other guys from our team had pointed him out, and I went and asked him to take a picture with Zion, and we started talking. We was at the fight all that tournament lasted the whole week. I
Mhm.
met him and Clarissa Shields. Bud and Clarissa Shields are just as average Joe people, man. They are so down to earth, both of them.
Reggie Bell got in here. And he said Spence already tried to get that fight. I
No, he
saw
didn't.
that video also. I also saw on where Bud, I guess saying people wouldn't agree about the money. Like Bud didn't agree with the split that Spence won. So a lot of people say that's ducking.
That's new. That's
Huh?
new. That came up this year. I'm talking about when Bud first came into the division. He came straight for Spence and Pacquiao. Pacquiao lost his belt. He got beat. Bud didn't want anything to do with him.
Now, would you agree that Spence and Bud
I
and
mean,
this
Spence didn't want anything to do with him.
Spence and Bud, they both have some respect for each other. I don't think that Bud look at Spence like like you're a wimp or you scared or anything. And I don't think that Spence look at Bud like that. Do you think like that, Coach?
I think just by the way they was talking to each other, I mean, I don't think it's no true disrespect, but I think Bud is getting frustrated because the clock is wearing out for him. He's getting older,
Hmm.
and he really is one of those fighters that care about his legacy. He wants to fight the best guys out there. If he didn't, he would never unified at 140. He didn't have to do that, and then he could have stayed there and milked that. He didn't. He gave that up and immediately moved up and challenged the big dogs at 147. So I can clearly see that Bud want the big fights. It's just they were saying that it was because he was across the street and it's the management team. And I do believe Bob Arum got a lot to do with some of them fights not being made and trying to hold back some of his fighters. But that fight can get made if both of them guys want it. When two fighters want the fight happens. I don't care who they with, cause you the boss. Your promoters work for the fighters. When two fighters want to fight, the fight happens. If that fight ain't happening, no matter what they say in front of them cameras, one of them fighters don't want that fight to happen. If they can't make it happen. If they both want it, it's gonna happen.
So like was Bud wrong? Because this is another reason why I think a lot of people be mad at him because he signed with Top Rank. But I always say too, I ain't in the business of counting no man money or a woman. You know who you sign. I could say, I wouldn't have did that because from just me knowing Bob, take any fighters that he have under him out the equation. But just me knowing Bob and knowing that Bob say shit like black fighters don't sell. Motherfucker, we are the one of the biggest groups who contribute to the economy and everything.
Well, Floyd proved that. He said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather,
Mm-hmm.
and he was holding Floyd back. Floyd got out of that and became the pay-per-view king. So you
Exactly.
can't. And they keep saying it's up to the fighter. It really isn't up to the fighter. Shouldn't have to go out there like a fool to to get paid and get the world to know him. That's your promoter job. The promoter should be promoting the fighter. Canelo ain't out there talking shit and starting stuff. You know what I'm saying? And being the bad guy. He's quiet, but they're promoting him. That's why his name got so big. He's being promoted right. If his fights, he got a fight coming up. You see the commercial on all day. You see the commercial Canelo fight coming up. Bud fight, you don't even see a commercial. If you're not die hard, you don't even know Bud fighting. He don't even put his commercials out. You never see any highlight commercials of Bud fights coming on. I remember when they put him on something called ESPN Plus, where I had to go download. You know what I'm saying? Something I didn't even care about because I don't watch football, basketball, none other sports. I only follow boxing. So I only downloaded it just for boxing, and they barely have boxing on ESPN.
It's just like the zone. It'll be disappointing, but it'll be that one nugget that you catch every now and then. You be like, damn, I wish I had the zone. I got the zone, but I wasn't getting ESPN Plus, and I was mad as hell. I wound up seeing Buzz fight some kind of way, but I was like mad as hell because I was like, I'm not. I got like
Well, I did it. I'm a
5 minutes
di- I
of
couldn't. I could.
fights
I
on
had to
Buzz.
watch it. I
You
had
had
to
to
follow him. I had to watch his fight, so I downloaded it. Yeah.
Demetrius
Um,
Bright, salute King. Welcome to the show. Um, but that's one of those reasons why they hate Bud. So this is where I gather. This is how I see it, y'all. It's my opinion. Don't shoot me. I just, my opinion. If you a big Earl Spence fan, you can't stand Bud. Most people. If you if if uh if you don't like the fact that he's over there at top rank, then it's his fault because everybody else is at PBC. And so, me personally, the only critique that I could give about Bud signing with Bob Arum is look at no black fighters. I would tell any black fighter, why the fuck you go over there? Hell, Nico Ali Walsh, the grandson of Muhammad Ali, is signed with Top Rank. He don't even look white, but we know he got nigga in him. I would tell him don't go sign with Bob. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, don't even go over there. Bob does not respect you on that level. He don't think much of you. Therefore, he devalue you off the top. You can be the best fighter in the world. If you're black, you already devalued. He'll never, Bob would never be like he was back in the day. But think about it, back in the day, Don King was running shit, right? As far as
right.
promoters, Don King he had the pockets, he had the fighters. Bob was trying to get in, but now once Bob got his feet wet and all that, he want to fall back on the brothers and keep them in a holding pattern while he elevate the complexion for the protection, whoever they may be. And as a black fighter,
Golden Boy do the same thing.
yeah, they do. All about Mexicans. All
Mhm.
about Mexicans.
Mhm.
And
But
then
that's why I love Al Heyman.
that was, and a lot of people don't like Al, but I'm just saying, like, I don't get mad at Bud for all that extra shit. I might not like it. Like most people, I don't like him signing and re-signing with Top Rank. But we ain't in that man's shoes, and I could care less. I judge Bud by what he do in that ring. That's it.
Right. He always show up to fight and always in shape. He always make
Always.
weight. You know what I'm saying? He's the very definition of a professional fighter. You never worry about Bud missing weight.
Or you don't
He
hear too much about him. I ain't say he missed the innocent, but he comes off like a family man.
well, he
That
been in trouble before in his younger days. He stayed
yeah,
in trouble in the beginning, but he got that cleared up when he got shot in the head.
yeah, and he's been. I hate to say he on the straight and narrow because I'm not in his life, but it would appear so. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And so just like life happens, people make mistakes. Um, Jerron Ennis been calling out these guys, and they living their life. That's why I said life happens. So it seems like sometimes they ready for stuff, and sometimes they not. Now, Jerron has called out Bud. He has called out Spence. Who hasn't he called out? And they ignoring him. Am I right in my assessment?
You said Jerron who boots?
Yeah, Boots.
Yeah. He's calling everybody out. They're smart to not fight him right now because there is a what you call it, reward and what you
High
call it?
risk, low
Yeah, high
reward.
risk, low reward. That is it. Like this guy, will probably beat most of them. If in the next right now, I think Crawford will get him. But in a few years, I see him taking over the division.
Right. Now, Th- am I right in my assessment in this? I'm not mad at Errol or Crawford or anybody up there on the top level with them two if they kind of like ignoring Boots because they have a pathway. I always tell everybody here, a boxer, you'll know if they're a good boxer because they'll set goals for themselves. They'll be like, I want to be a champion. I want to be unified. I want to be undisputed. If you coming into this boxing thing, you're just trying to, like how they was moving Tank around. That's bullshit to me. That's bullshit. I'd rather watch fighters who got a goal. Like, let me clean up this division, this, that, and the other. Then you got some young Thundercat behind you named Boots. That's like, let me in. I want in, right?
Hmm.
And you're not gonna detour off your path that you have set before yourself. Like you like, I fight this one guy and I'll be that much closer to the belt. Now here goes Jerron way in the back, like, yo, pick me. You're not gonna turn around and then go backwards just to keep going forward. That's if that makes any sense to you. And I say this for a reason, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. Does that make sense that Crawford and Spence and those top guys, they're going for a championship belt, unified or undisputed? Looking backwards is not the thing to do. Am I correct in that assessment?
Yeah, right now. But once what's his ranking now? Where he ranked at?
Boots,
Yeah, he should be ranked pretty high.
I'm not sure. He. I don't think he in the top. Well, let me see. He might be number 5. He
Yeah, I
might.
mean once he get close up there around the top, um, you almost going somebody's gonna almost have to fight this dude. But I want to see the top dudes fight it, clear each other out first. I want to see Crawford and Spence. Somebody got to be eliminated. I want to see them fight and get rid of one of them. And then who else is there really to fight? I
And
don't want to care about no Garcia fight. He getting ready to beat Porter ass. I mean, who Thurman has been done. He got too many injuries.
watch your mouth now.
Thurman done. I'm sorry. It's the accidents that messed him up. He got elbow injury, neck injuries. He's done, man. He got too many injuries.
But see, this is why I said watch your mouth for Thurman. That's still my guy. Thurman was my guy before Crawford was my guy.
I always liked Thurman.
Huh?
I always liked Thurman, but he's injured now.
Yeah, but the problem is he has one loss. You gotta get a nigga a benefit of the doubt. Everybody hate him. And you
Not
know what
me.
I think? This is
Hmm.
my opinion, y'all. Don't shoot me. Because Spence don't like
No, I don't like the duckers, man. That's what I don't really like, and that's when I start hating fighters. When they start depriving me, the boxing fan, of the fights I want to see. You giving me these bulls, you giving me these fights nobody care about. I don't want to see that.
but it back then, and it's very possible, and I stipulate this to y'all. It's very possible that Keith could have been scared and ducking when Earl was coming up. But y'all remember, you remember when Earl was fighting, low level fighters like the Greco and all them, people. This is because he was coming up and he was hollering for Spence. And
Hmm.
Thurman, I'm sorry. Spence was hollering for Thurman. And Thurman won't give him like,
He turned his back on him.
time of day. Do you think that Thurman was wrong? Because if I gotta say Thurman was wrong, and that's not what we should do in boxing, then Earl doing boots like that, Crawford doing boots like that, I just can't get mad because I'll be mad at everybody. What you say to that?
Yeah, I agree with that too. They and I do remember Thurman doing Spence like that. But he was after money. He was after titles, and he was after big money fights, so he could make his name. And somebody like back to that low risk, that high risk and low reward. You know what I'm saying? You got it, boxing is still a business, so I understand it from that perspective. But once he make it to the once he elevated his name, once he made it to the top, that fight was big. That fight was big, and Thurman was still denying Spence the fight. In the
By
beginning,
that
nobody
time,
really
he
knew him,
had them injuries though. Remember?
huh?
By that time, them injuries was up on his ass. Remember?
No, he hadn't been out yet. When he
He
took that long layoff,
remember he said he always had that elbow injury, and when he decided to take care of it, he was late taking care of it because he was like it was always there. I don't know if Porter or Danny Garcia heard him worse, made it worse. But let me get this chat by Demetrius Bright. He said both Spence and Crawford will beat Boots Ennis now because he lacks experience. I believe if and when Errol comes back, he will fight Boots at 154. What you think of that, Coach G?
I don't see that happening. I definitely believe he'll beat Spence, and it ain't because I don't like him. Just styles make fights, and Boots is just too. He's just like a younger, fresher Crawford. Like he's too. He does too much. Spence to me is like a one track. He has only one thing he can do. He has only one thing he can do. He's flat footed. He's a flat footed fighter. I don't care what nobody say. You don't see Spence with lateral movement, moving around. Spence moving around the ring with speed and using angles and stuff. Like he's standing right in front of you, and he try to bang you. The only angles he have is because he's southpaw. They just built in because he's a southpaw fighter. But he don't actually move around and position himself like them other guys do. I really don't see him beating no Boots in his. I'm saying right now I don't see him beating him. But Crawford, that'd be a much a better tactical fight. He will beat him right now, but then neither one of them gonna fight that dude right now. Ain't no money in it. He's gonna have to build himself up right. The only people who know Boots is people like diehard boxing fans. The casuals don't know who he is, so that fight is not gonna sell. So he's gonna have to build his name up. He's gonna have to go out there and maybe get a fight with Danny Garcia and beat Danny Garcia, or get a fight with Porter and fight. He's gonna have to fight some of the guys that these guys already beat and beat them better, and then he can make his name. If he can get a fight with like Danny Garcia and then knock Danny Garcia out, that's something Thurman didn't do.
Well,
That can create a demand for the fight.
I, I've made a video too about Thurman. Let me tell you, in Thurman's younger career, he could take punches. That was the first thing I thought about. I'm like, this motherfucker can take some punches, but over time,
Not to the body.
but not over time. I was gonna say he got stomach. But that got a lot to do with that. That nigga can eat. I'm telling you, I've met him before, and when I tell you that little guy can eat, because he's not a heavyweight, he ain't even a light heavyweight. I will put him because he wasn't preparing for a fight. I met him at the Pacquiao Floyd fight. When I tell you this motherfucker can eat, and I ain't putting you out there bad, Keith, but I was like, where in the fuck is all that food going? That dude can eat, and he's stomachy. So I would tell Thurman if he clean up his stomach. Any boxer out there with a stomach problem, I got some recipes. Boxing fan talks. That's my email. Boxing fan talks without the TV part. That's my Gmail account at Gmail.
That's another reason why, since you hit on that, that's another reason why I said they can't deal with Crawford. Those guys are not disciplined enough. You don't, in between fights, Thurman and Spence balloon up. They balloon up 20, 30 pounds. I don't care when you see Crawford, he always look like he's ready for a fight. He
Uh,
always look hard and in shape, ready for a fight. He lives in the gym. He's more disciplined. When you ballooning up in between fights like that, your body gets soft. Your body is not the same as these guys like Crawford, who's the body staying hard. That plays a big difference in these fights, man. That discipline. Discipline is so important in boxing, and they didn't have it. And that's probably one of the reasons why Thurman stay injured all the doggone time, is because of his lack of discipline.
what active activists you gonna say? Thurman got a lactic acid problem and a lot of buildup. The boy can eat. So I would tell any boxers, young boxers out there, you don't want no stomach issues, clean your gut. Clean it. It's all kind. Look it up. Look at, or you can email me. I'll tell you exactly a couple of recipes that'll help you clean your gut. Because a lot of guys just not us as Americans, period, are not aware of the bullshit that be in the food these days, what we eat, and we blindly eat it because we think they telling us on the label, but they ain't even told us half the shit. So, you know, uh, look, active activists say he need to go alkaline as much as possible. Active activists, but what Keith did to Earl by ignoring him, because I was talking with some other guy and I said Keith had all the belts except one. He said no, he didn't. I was like, I thought, y'all correct me. I thought he had all the belts except one. I never say he was undisputed, but I could have sworn he had three belts. Am I lying? Somebody help me. Because Keith was lineal. I do remember that. And I think he was ring before. Those are not like actual belts. I think he had the WBA super and regular. And I think he had the was it WBC? And WBA. He had three belts. That's all I remember. Coach, do you remember how many belts Keith had at his top prime?
I don't think he had no three.
You don't
He
think he
might
had?
have had. He might have had two.
Well, I know he had. Look, remember they took the WBA from him. I know he had WBC, but he had the WBA regular and super. I thought, or the franchise, whatever they call it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
I don't
Keith.
think he ever held no three major belts at one time.
Okay. Well, he was going for them, and he. So when Earl was harkening at him, he wasn't paying Earl attention, not being funny and nothing. But I like I said, all fighters do that. So I'd be like, what are y'all really mad at Keith for? If he had injuries that he kept saying shucking them off, and so we don't know if he was shucking them off and want to, let me go ahead and knock this fight out. And then, all that stuff started running behind each other, and then you ain't fighting nobody. I think at one point he did get kind of scared or whatever, Spence. I do believe that, but I don't think it was always like that. And this stalling of Keith Thurman, I don't agree with it. What you think about that? This stalling him out?
I'm
Um,
looking at who is this? Demetrius Bright said that he was fight. He was an Olympian. He can fight in. Just because you're an Olympian don't mean you can fight inside and out. There's plenty of Olympians that's one track. They just come forward.
yeah. Well, I mean, Spencer's a good fighter. I see what Coach G is saying. He basically saying he got a handful of tools, whereas when you look at Bud got a bag full of tools. It's almost like when you talk about Bud, just on fighting, not comparing them. Like don't say them two fighting each other, just them individually. Bud has a tool bag of stuff he could do. Like when I look at
So
Bud,
many
I like,
tricks.
what can't he do?
So many tricks.
So many tricks. When
Hmm
I look at Spence, I see a handful of tools.
You see the same pattern over and over again.
Mhm.
He's
Demetrius White,
predictable. You're gonna see how predictable it is if he fights somebody like Boots or Crawford. They'll expose that predictability.
mm, Demetrius Bright say that's not true. Spence was an Olympian. I'm just reading what you already read.
Right.
Coach, he can fight inside and outside. Earl should true ring generalship against Mikey God. See, I think you
A
said.
guy two weight divisions lower than him that he should have knocked out.
Mhm.
He's went tooth and nail 12 rounds with a little dude with little Mikey Garcia.
Mm. Then
How you think that fight would have went if that was Crawford fighting Mikey Garcia?
knocked him out
That fight would have been over with within 5 rounds. He would have put little Mikey Garcia to sleep.
pretty much. Mikey just looking for a payday, payday. Uh,
Nah, Mikey was really looking. Mikey was that's one of my favorite fighters. He ain't fought in so long though. But Mikey was one of them dudes who tried to fight everybody.
mm.
He just was having a problem getting the fights.
But now Mikey is on the money tour, the money
Well,
grab tour.
yeah, he's on the other side, on the downside of his career now.
Yeah, but it's hard to get into fighters like that. I'm not gonna be giving you money just for giving you. Go for some shit. That's what I need. Then Demetrius said, then he went straight forward against Porter to fight his fight. Uh, he met the same fight, and Noah G. Point X, salute King. Welcome to the show. Demetrius said he proved it against Mikey Garcia I guess you're trying to say inside or outside, and again on the inside, straightforward against Porter. That fight with Porter was close though.
That fight could have went either way. I wouldn't have been mad if they gave it to Porter.
Yeah, that fight was close though.
It was that knockdown that made me say, okay, that put Spence in the lead when he dropped him.
That was it for me
That
too.
was it. That's what made me say, okay, he got. But if it weren't for that knockdown, Porter could easily won that fight.
I don't know about that. I was thinking draw because both of them was giving as much as they was taking. And let me tell you, Earl has that ability. He's relentless. This is what I love about this man. He is fucking relentless. And I don't know if he just got a good chin or maybe he just don't feel nothing. But in order for you to change up what Earl be doing, you got to hit him in such a way that he felt that. You know what I'm saying?
He's a fighter. He is a fighter. So
Uh, Demetrius Bryce said, not true. You are a Bud fan, and that's your choice. I have Porter beating Bud by split decision.
we're gonna see. That's a good thing about time. We're gonna find out.
45976 Kimmy said, I agree. Salute Miss T and Coach G. Salute to you, Kimmy. Um, yeah, and look, we got off in the bud because there was a lot of other fights. I can't let you leave. I can run this show however long I want, but I can't let you leave without talking about certain other fights. Now, hold on. We got to talk about Caleb and Canelo. My thing is how Caleb studded up and smacked fire out his ass. Barrel. I was loving it.
Mm.
I was there for all they call him a bitch. And the difference between you two is you a fat ass bitch and you a bitch. And then
Hmm.
like he was just man,
Them words can't win the fight for him though.
they
I
can't.
like him, but I think Canelo gonna tear his body up, man.
You think Canelo that good of a fighter?
I think Canelo's a very good fighter. I really do. Even though I think he's cheating. He
Yeah.
still is a good fighter. The man is very skilled and he can punch.
Now, coach, I gotta ask you. What I see in Canelo, he doesn't have good feet and he good leg movement. He's just not good in that area from the waist up. He the bomb.com. But Canelo hits harder between the two, I think.
But he's a masterful body puncher, and that's what I think will make the difference in this fight with Caleb. He's gonna hit the body and take them legs away. And for my man already got issues, stamina issues. He get tired already.
Caleb do.
Yeah, he get tired already. That all that running around gonna make him tired. And believe me, Canelo's gonna touch his body. That's the plan. That long, tall body, he's gonna touch it. And I think he's gonna take the gas out of him, and it's not gonna end well for Caleb.
Mm.
He ain't got the power either. If Caleb has some power to get Canelo to respect him, then I would say okay, maybe he could box from the outside. Cause a guy with some pop, if he fight from the outside, you think twice about going inside of that. But if you ain't got no power, there's nothing to keep Canelo from going inside, taking a couple of shots to walking him down. I think he gonna walk him down, cut that ring off. What size the ring is? They already said that.
I'm not sure. I
I
didn't.
bet you it's a small ring, cause Canelo is the man, so he's the A side. They ain't gonna have no big giant ring. It's gonna be a small ring, and he's gonna cut that ring off, and he's gonna beat Caleb.
Noah G. Point X said Triple G already beat Canelo.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think that first fight, I think Triple G did beat him. I mean, when you fight somebody, and no matter what you do, even when you outbest them, and they cheat, like they cap it for Canelo, they want him to be the man.
right.
I have been apologizing to Caleb Plant damn near this whole summer. Like, I'm sorry, Caleb, this is how it's gonna be. You lost that fight already. This fight is already written. The card's already done. The newspaper magazines are in the garage somewhere waiting to be sent out 2 minutes after the fight over. It's
I
done.
don't see him. I don't. After about like the seventh or eighth round, I don't even see that fight being that competitive after that. I really believe Canelo's gonna take over that fight and start beating him up,
Oh yeah.
especially since this bad blood stuff done went down.
I hope Caleb has some respectable power because it looked like Floyd can't don't have power, right? But the motherfuckers won't running up in him, so he must
Nah,
have had something.
he ain't no Floyd Mayweather. He's
Yeah,
not Floyd.
touche, touche, touche. Demetrius Bright said Canelo is a drug cheat. Canelo had stamina issues before the peg usage. I'm rooting for playing against Canelo.
Now I agree with him 100% on that.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm going for Plant, hoping for a miracle because look, Laura, I can't stand Laura. Everybody know I don't like Laura, but Laura beat Canelo. He
I
outboxed,
agree with that. He did. He outboxed him.
but Laura is a cheat. That shit he did to Angolo, I can't forgive him for that shit. Now, you know that shit happened a long, long time ago. When he poked him in the eye, the nigga head was like blew up. Like, ooh, that was the worst injury. Ooh, and he has profound eyebrows, or the little bone. Like he's the difference between girls and men and women is like our eyebrow area. It's kind of like almost flush with our head. Y'all have like a stronger eyebrow area or bridge. I don't know what the proper name is, but Angolos and Gula, however you say his name,
The
his
dog.
are more profound than average men. And when
Hmm.
Laura poked his eye, oh my God. Y'all remember that fight?
No, I don't remember that fight, but I know I don't like Angula.
You don't like him?
I like nothing about him. He's another one of them flat-footed fighters that just stand toe to toe. I don't like that.
Take a bunch of like Jared Hurd. You don't like Jared Hurd?
The heavyweight?
Jared Hurd. Is it Jared Hurd or I think his name Jared Hurd, the 154 pounder. Demetrius Bryce said bring.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The blonde hair.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't like him either.
You ain't like,
All that height and reaching, he don't use any of it.
he
He's a
shot,
walking punching bag.
but he beat Laura ass. That oh,
Yeah, but
ooh.
who that was beat the brakes off of him?
Recently J Rock, was it J Rock?
Was it J Rock that
J
knocked him
Rock,
out?
and he took the belts, and then Rosario came and took it, and then Jamal Charlo said, "Let me unass that off you."
Yeah, that's who I want to see fight Canelo.
Jamal,
Charlo, Charlo, the 160 pounder.
he don't want to fight Canelo. I mean,
I
not him. Canelo
Canelo
don't
don't
want
want
to fight him,
Canelo don't want to fight him. Yeah,
or Andrade, or Benavidez.
right. And what's his name? Andre, not Andre.
Andre, yeah, I
Uh
keep calling him Andrade, Andre,
huh. I know you meant though. Yeah,
Boo Boo. Yeah,
yeah. They don't want to fight him either. He
you know
fight what
who?
once a year?
Yeah, Canelo is trying to be. He trying to be Joe Lewis. He trying to be Sugar Ray Robinson. Shit ain't gonna work.
Nah, cause
My
them dudes fought everybody. He ain't
huh?
fighting nobody. If Canelo will fight the undefeated champions around him, he could put his name in the hat against anybody. He got undefeated Charlo, undefeated Andrade, undefeated Better B, Better what's his name?
You got me messing up. Benavidez.
175 Benavidez, but then Better B too, the 175 champion.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, him. He
Berta B.
got four undefeated world champions to fight, and he won't fight any of them. He took the easy route, them European guys. You know that's the easy route.
Yeah, he's being strategic, and he's being allowed to cheat. So I'll be like, fuck Canelo. He will never, if shit don't let me be at the gate of the Hall of Fame, nigga. You ain't getting in.
Nah, he ain't fighting the guy he's supposed to. A lot of big money fights he could have to make him earn that name they gave him. But
Hmm.
he's not taking those fights.
You know what's wrong though in the boxing world today? You got cheaters like Canelo whole team, and then you got WBC President Mauricio Suleiman, who's complicit in all this bullshit. Only if you're Mexican, and I call him Mr. Canton.
Hmm.
Mr. Canton is complicit in all this shit as long as you Mexican. And it's like their belt, the WBC belt, is a Mexican belt. The WBA belt is a Venezuela belt or a Latino belt or a highest bidder belt. The WBO belt is Bob's Aaron's belt. The only one smelling like roses is the IBF.
Yeah, they completely destroyed the WBC, and that used to be the most prestigious belt in boxing. That's the one everybody want was the green belt. But you
Yeah,
gotta look at the leaders. Look who's running the show now.
Mr. Canton. Remember from Harlem Nights? Y'all ain't gonna tell me this dude don't look like Mr. Canton?
They it's so dirty and corrupt now.
Yeah, yeah, they are. And so, Canelo, I don't, again, people, like, a lot of people get mad when we say shit about Canelo. Canelo don't need to cheat, but you never know what's in your arsenal that you're not that great at. We
He
all, every one of
he
us.
do need to cheat. Like my man said earlier, he has stamina issues.
Yeah.
So since he take them drugs, that helps improve all of that. I don't know if because he don't like to run, or if he has something internally wrong with his lungs. I don't know, but he used to gas out halfway through the fight.
But
Canelo
that's
be
the
tired.
beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Come as you are.
Right. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm
Come
with
as
you
you
on that.
But you doing this extracurricular shit, and I'm supposed to put you next to the names of Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, and all the greats. No, I can't
Never.
do that.
He can't even stand next to Julio Cesar Chavez
Not at all. Not at all. And if
or
who
Oscar De La Hoya.
not at all. And if they were cheating, the motherfuckers ain't get caught. You know what
Now,
I'm saying?
I don't think Oscar De La Hoya cheated, but I do think that Julio Cesar Chavez
You just
cheated in some of his fights.
you just never know because you know that taco meat down there that they
Now I
be
think he was rapping his putting shit in his gloves. Like
oh shit like
when he
resto
fought my man he fought what's the black dude named the Olympian? The dude who threw 1,000 punches, the black dude.
prior no
No. I
oh
can't think of he punch drunk now. He can't really he was on the team I think with Pernell Whitaker, Holyfield, all of
yeah
them.
yeah.
He was on the Olympic team with them.
Mm. Yeah, you just never know. He got away with it, you know. But I don't assess cheaters. I just assess whether they whether they a good cheater or not. That's the only thing. That's the only assessment they'll get out of me. But I gotta make sure I get you on all of them. So you got Canelo winning.
Mildred Taylor, my man hit it. That's him.
Oh, that's
Mildred Taylor. When he fought Mildred Taylor, he had him pissing blood and bleeding profusely out of every hole, everywhere, bleeding everywhere. I've never seen Julio Cesar Chavez beat anybody that bad. And Mildred Taylor was not just anybody. This dude was like the second coming of Jesus. This dude was like he was it at that time, and he beat him so bad, man. I really believe he had something in his gloves during that fight.
probably did. I mean, back then, look, Margarito. Then he was on that truck too. I mean, then you got if you go back to that Louis Resto fight or whatever. They did it back then too. So yeah, all of these people try to find. I just learned about skin and gloves when August 14 when they had to fight with Mikael Fox and Gabriel Maestri. I ain't never heard of that term before in my life.
What is it again? Cause I ain't heard that either.
You haven't heard of it? Okay,
Nah,
so
what is
skin
it?
and gloves is when you know how the glove is all big in the front, like where your hand go.
Hmm.
What they do is they pull it down like real tight and then try to put the tape kind of high up above the wrist area like on
So
the
the
glove
knuckles will be harder.
so your knuckles are really coming through.
Hmm.
I mean the cheating of it all, like the
Right.
scandals of it all.
Right. It's
I
a
was
dirty,
like,
dirty sport, man. So you
it's
got to have a good team and a good experienced corner. Cause like I'm nowhere near that level. But on the amateur side, I'm experiencing a lot of dirty shit on the amateurs. It's just crazy. You never think. I understand the pros are dirty because there's so much money involved. But the amateurs is free. These dudes are being dirty and cheating just like that. They tried to cheat us down in Florida a couple of weeks ago. It's like the shit they try to pull with kids is ridiculous, man.
tell them what they try to do. So
They
people,
try to match. They try to match my son up with a guy that was 3 years older than him and outweigh him by almost like 18 pounds. It's completely dirty and illegal. And they tried to sneak the dude in the ring. It was so dirty. It's like I can't even understand. I can't understand. We didn't even take the fight. Like I told my son, take them gloves off. Take the gloves off, and we left up out of there. They're so dirty.
mm, that's just sad. And why you got? Because now you know why? I guess that people putting too much emphasis into the amateurs because it come up in regular conversation with fans or just people just well in the amateurs such. If
They
you was
so concerned with winning. They want to win, win, win by any means necessary. And that's not how you develop fighters, man. You got to get competitive fights. You got to match these kids up with the right age and right weight and the right experience so they can grow and develop into. If you put a guy that's open that's got 30 fights and he's 3 years older than this other kid, and this thing it's by the rule book too. They showed me the rule book that my son was 11 years old and the kid was 13. You can match an 11-year-old with a 13-year-old. You know how much time of development in the bones and the muscle between an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old kid.
Could be a lot.
That's huge, man. This kid had a mustache and everything.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, had a mustache and everything. And I said, how old are you? 13. I was like, oh, no, man.
He had the
Take
vein.
them damn gloves off, man. You ain't finna fight this good. My son's sitting here crying because he want to fight. It is
That's,
crazy.
that's crazy. What you say? Your son barely had 100 pounds.
Yeah, he was right. He 99, 100 pounds.
Mm-mm-mm.
And so they bumped him up to 102. There is no 102 weight class. So he had to go to 106. And 106 have a 7 pound, you can be 7 pounds over 106. So if you say my son weighed 102, which he probably was like more like 99, and this kid is at the max, that's too big a gap in weight plus age.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. They just about winning, man.
Yeah, maybe they should. They're gonna make it get to a point where all the young guys, the young fellas like your sons, they can't even fight till they like 15 to 16, at least till.
Nah, it's too. They need to be developing. Now it's just you have to be smart, man. You have to be smart and you have to pay attention. My eyes is wide open. Like these
Got
past few years, my eyes are wide open. I've learned so much from dealing with these different people. It's so corrupt and dirty on the amateur level. So I can't even imagine how bad it is on the professional level.
especially with millions of dollars crossing hands.
Right.
So I made it. Let me move to I gotta get you with the Wilder. I know we coming up on 2 hours, y'all. This one is my longest show, and I thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I hope we giving y'all some good content. So, Coach, let me get your assessment on the Wilder Fury fight. But I will say, I say that Fury he's a good fighter. He's average, but the reason why he gets a lot of props because he's big and he can move. Now, what say you to that?
I think Fury is one of the best skilled heavyweights we've seen in a long time. Like he can really box. Like it's no. I know he cheat and all that stuff, but he's fundamentally sound, man. He really can box. He uses a jab. He's light on his. For a big man, he moves like a little man. Where he bounce around his feet, that his feints. He's very smart, very intelligent with his skills and the psyche part. He know how to get in your head and play mental games with you too. Like I just heard that he's coming into this fight fighting southpaw. He want to come into this fight and fight Deontay Wilder in southpaw position. I mean, it just that stuff mess with your head. This guy, he's good. We need Fury in the heavyweight division, but I don't like the cheating part. But I do believe that Wilder, I'm going for Wilder in this rubble match.
I think Wilder gonna kill him. I think Wilder don't give a damn what he say. He don't give a damn what he do. I think when they say ding ding, Wilder gonna kill him.
Well,
But you,
Fury he had whatever was going on with his gloves. We could all clearly see it wasn't legal. You clearly see something was wrong with his gloves. I've been watching boxing my whole life. I ain't never seen nobody gloves do what Fury gloves was doing in the ring, flapping all the way back. And then that injury on the side of Wilder's head with a crack in the side of his skull, like where that come from? I've never seen nothing like that in boxing before. Then Wilder said he was drugged,
mm,
and they said that was a whole hoax. But then Holyfield spoke out and said he was drugged in one of his fight by about a bottle of water. Did you see that interview?
I heard about it. I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
he said the same thing happened to him. So Wilder don't strike me as a liar, as somebody who make up shit. You know what I'm saying? In the box, he seemed to be very honest about what's going on around him, and I don't think he fired his coach for nothing. They tried to say he's a stupid, he was insecure, and he panicked because he got beat. I really believe it's some substance to all that stuff around him.
What?
But I'm looking at if Fury was unable to drop, because Wilder finished the fight on his feet. If you drug this man, had shit in your gloves, if you had all this stuff cheating against this man and you still couldn't lay him out on the canvas, what you gonna do without all of that? He can't cheat this time. That cutting the camera off in the dressing room. Remember before the fight, he cut the camera off.
Yeah, yeah.
The camera went out in his dressing room. If you just look at all the stuff that led up to this fight, that man he was cheating. I respect him; he can box, but he's a cheater. And Wilder, his team failed him by not. If you know you're dealing with a cheater, you gotta have to take every precaution. Like he can't be in his room by himself. We gotta have somebody in there watching him the whole time.
Look. I was watching BFTB boxing yesterday. This dude be having me dying laughing. they had this coon. I'm gonna use his word coon as dude calling from Dubai because that's what he was, and all the other what I'm trying to say names that BFTV was calling him, explicit or whatever. But this dude try to act like he don't see that Fury. He's from England, but he trying to act like he don't see the big deal with Fury. Like I have to check that video out. I have to make sure it's authentic. I think it was doctored and da 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 da. But the BFTB, what I like about him, he is hard to handle because of the way he responds to you, and you got to have some thick skin to deal with it. But he backs everything up with receipts. You can't be mad at that. And you just went down a list of things, some of the things I've heard him talk about over this past year. Let's start with the head injury. Doctors have come out and said no human hand can do that.
Right.
So if no human hand can do that, because when you dent a skull like that, immediate surgery, because you got to worry about infections. Wilder could, I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but Wilder in years to come, like when he's an older guy, maybe in his 60s, that injury could come back to haunt him.
It's gonna come back and harm.
Yeah, because
That
that's
happened to all boxers. Your head trauma. Your head ain't designed to take those kind of punches.
yeah, but they dented his skull, y'all. No human hand on the face of this earth can supposed to be able to do that. None. Only an object, a blunt force, you know, trauma can do something like that.
And
Not
old media wouldn't even talk about it.
yeah. So we already know if no human hand can dent a skull, then what the fuck was in Fury's glove?
They
That's
said
not.
an egg weight,
Yeah,
and
he had.
that would make sense. While he throwing it was flapping. It
Yeah,
had to have some weight. It was top end heavy. It had to have something in it when he was to make it flap like that.
yeah. And Noah GX said Wilder was asked to fire Breeden 10 years ago. Yeah, they've been calling for Wilder to fire Breland because they felt like he won't do him much. Breland is not that damn old. Like I remember as a kid when he was a hot ticket item, but that man aged quick. I don't know why,
But
but
he
he.
was never that good either. He was good as an amateur. But when he
Oh,
turned pro, he was shit as a pro. He didn't do good. He didn't do well as a pro. So I only see why they decided to bring him in there anyway.
Wilder, I don't know. He jumped on the bandwagon, but D's been his day one forever. So D's ain't going nowhere. But this would make you see,
D's
and
don't know shit either.
the reason why I brought him up because he was showing this on his show. And
Mm.
when the guy tried to act like, everybody's blaming Breland and Breland's this innocent bystander. Breland said on somebody else's show, if you go back and look at the tape, then the guy tried to rebuttal and said, I don't think he was talking about the actual fight. I think I'm trying to do my English accent. I think he was talking about the back of the room when they were in the back. No, the nigga said go back and watch the tape. If you go back and watch the fight, you go back and watch the tape, you will see that I never had water. I'm paraphrasing in a sense.
And then they showed
I
him with the
never had
water.
water in my hand. I never gave him water. BFTB pull up the tape. Mark Breland giving him water and with
Mm-hmm.
water in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
now
saw it.
you got to be like, then when Sugar Hill was on, I think Fred's show, and what's his name, Drew Titan chimed in. It was a lot of humming. See, Sugar Hill already, he just one of them people that look guilty to me. He looked like he always up to some shit. I have always felt that way about him, even before Tyson got with him. And you was complicit in this nut job, doing our American champion like that. How dare you, sir? You know. But so then you get those kind of proof. And then just how they try to lie and make up shit. Evander Holyfield said he don't look right. His legs wasn't under him even coming to the fight.
And
Coming
he thought it was his suit. He thought it was the suit that did it because he couldn't explain no other reason. Like, why am I feeling this way? So he was saying stuff, and people was, oh, that you wore that suit. You know what I'm saying? It sounded stupid. But Wilder was trying to justify to himself why he felt so weak, why he felt dizzy, why it had to be the suit because all I drank was water. You know, like why was he feeling that way? But they
and
wanted to see that man fall.
and Noah GX said, and the water was not clear. And
Really?
in the yeah, that what he said. I didn't look at the water that hard, but I might have to go back and look at that, Noah. But and in the post press conference, Fury was handed a water, and he said, "Where did you get that from? Over there, like where the community water is? Ah, nah, don't drink that."
I saw that he was sitting on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah, he turned it down. He's
it's a
like, "Who
couple
gave you that
times
water?"
he turned that shit down. I seen another video where they was like,
Mm,
"Don't give me that water, give."
mhm.
So I don't think, like you said, I don't see Wilder as a liar. Wilder could have sued them, ended their career, damn, sued the fuck out of Top Rank, all of them. Probably would have got a good settlement and would have shut it down. But Wilder was like, I want it in blood.
He want to fight. Yeah, he want. He's a fighter. That's why I love that dude, man. Wilder want to fight.
Like Reggie Bell said, he said that suit was like 40 pounds or something like that.
That still ain't gonna make no difference to him
Yeah.
like that. Roy Jones used to shadow box in the dressing room with the 40-pound weight vest on before his fights. He got an interview talking about it.
While the man asked her, and this BFT, y'all go and watch BFTV show from yesterday. He breaks that shit down like it was beautifully done. There was a reporter who asked Wilder a specific question, and his answer was like he was like, "What you think? Your legs wasn't under you." Now I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me. Your legs wasn't under you, and Wilder's response was, he was like, "Why is that?" And Wilder's response was like, "I don't know. Maybe the suit was heavy." And they
Hmm.
took that
Out of
response,
context.
yeah,
Hmm.
and just made a mountain out of molehill. And so it's like it's crazy.
He couldn't
That's
explain it
why
to
that's
himself.
why this fight is big. Y'all gotta get it. If y'all don't normally buy fights, this is the one to buy. You don't have to buy every fight. I'm buying Canelo and Caleb fight because I'm supporting Caleb. Simple for that reason alone.
Don't
But
come to your house to watch it.
yeah, and I like to watch it. But if anybody else, if it's fighting other people, because I have bypassed Canelo's fights on pay per view before. I don't be pressed about his shit.
Yeah, I
Once
ain't supporting him.
yeah, once he's a cheater, I cannot get behind a cheater.
Well, if he fight Charlo, I'll support him. He
Most
fight
definitely.
Andrade, I'll fight him. He fight Benavidez, I'll support him. But these other guys, no, I can't do that.
And shout outs to the Charlos because they seem like they did a 180. Hear about a lot of negative stuff and everything. That was my issue with them. Like, because I was like, what is wrong with them? Why are they so angry? And then the coon and stuff, but they seem like they did a turnaround. I'm softening again, but like, cause like people who follow me all the time in this channel, coach, no, I don't do cooning on no level.
Right.
It's hard for me to forgive because, in my opinion, it's not the person cooning who always get hurt. It's that unsuspected black boy or man, for the most part, that get hurt and charged to the game for cooning shit. And so I just can't respect it. But like, y'all know what happened, the story, but I don't want to keep bringing it up. But Charlo, shout outs to them. I'm softening. I like how y'all moving in these streets and keep up the good work. I never faltered on support of them as far as like I always advocate they win. What I said I was gonna do is not buy their fights if they don't
I
change.
gotta watch the Charlo fight.
They change.
Yeah, I can't miss a Charlo fight. They dedicated, they clean, they
Hmm.
clean fighters, and they dedicate and they love to fight. They not missing weight, and they come in to fight. Every, every second of every round, them boys is at a bang.
Oh, they the truth. They the truth.
Yes, yes.
I'll admit that they the truth. And like I said, I'm softening, and that has never happened. Never. That's one of them areas in my life I'm not forgiving, but I am softening. I just, I don't know what happened, but kudos and shouts out to the whole Charlo family.
This dude Noah GX, I might have to agree with that.
Yeah.
'Cause I see so much frustration built up in Wilder,
Uh huh.
and that first round gonna tell a lot.
Yeah.
I can't wait till the bell ring.
Wilder ain't gonna be playing.
I
And
hope Wilder is not stupid though, cause Fury is so smart that if he come out there swinging wild and undisciplined and throwing them crazy shots, he gonna make it easy. He gonna make it easy for Fury, cause Fury's such a smart boxer. He can't be stupid in this fight.
well, Deontay let out what Mark Breeden exactly was training him to do, but they was winning before. Mark Breland got on the team, and everybody so butthurt about him firing Mark Breland. That's your boss. If your boss said don't throw that towel in, you know, shit.
Well, I have to go against that though. If if I see the only thing I see him firing for that is if he felt like he had something to do with setting him up to put him in that position. But if it's a fair fight and you just getting your ass whipped, it's hard to sit there as a coach and watch your fighter. You should care about your fighter. My train these guys, I can't. I bond. You see me with these guys. I bond with them. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to see a fighter getting his ass whipped like that. And I don't see no way out. I don't see you like coming out this fight. I don't see you winning, or I see you getting hurt. You have to throw it in. There was nothing Wilder could do at that position, that particular time. There was nothing Wilder could do. It was just gonna get worse for him as the rounds went by. He saved Wilder. He already had a dent in the side of his head. I mean, he was bleeding out his ear. I mean, what else we need to see? He couldn't stand up. His balance was gone. His legs was gone. There was no reason to keep that fight going.
I think he was in on it. Reggie Bell, I just saw that you cash at me. Thank you, King. What you said it was a test. It worked, but yeah, it was. It's hit or miss for me because I ain't gonna sit up there and alibi, sit alibi and watch somebody die or potentially die. But when I'm saying the people got it wrong when they butt hurt, it's one of those catch 22s. If you live long enough, you will find yourself in a predicament where you're in a catch 22. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. That's everybody in life. And so you gotta take it how you can get it. If your employer told you not to do something, you do it, he has a right to fire you. That's
Yeah,
all.
I mean, and he did, but he saved Wilder life.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying, but we cannot let that part overshadow what Deontay had the right to do. Plus, Deontay was thinking he was in on it too. It was just more than just you throwing the towel in. I don't think Deontay that shallow. I think it was more shit going on than just that. Deontay ain't putting the business out in the street as he should. And everybody's like, well, you shouldn't do Mark Breland like that. But like somebody said earlier, they've been calling for Deontay to fire Mark Breland for years.
Yeah, he
Reggie
was
Bell said, I
trash.
think Wilder gonna hurt
I didn't see Wilder developing.
I'm wondering will Fury come with pressure early. So though I think Fury the better boxer. That's what Reggie Bell said. See that?
Hmm.
So, what was you saying though, folks?
So what?
What were you saying before I was reading the
See,
chat?
I don't forgot myself. I'm reading what he was just telling you.
Yeah. So in the end of the day, these are the fights that's coming up, y'all. I ain't gonna hold Coach too long because I know. Do your baby sleep all through the night or
Yeah, my kids sleep. They knocked out.
they out?
Yeah,
They out. You
yeah, but
cool
I'm
at
tired. I
the
got to get up early and take them to school. So
Okay. But I want to thank Coach for coming on the show. You are more than welcome to come here anytime.
it was
Look at
fun.
Noah's chat. What Noah said, Wilder has the right to fight like Mike. Nah, we don't want to see him do
Nah,
that.
'cause they wanted to disqualify him.
Yeah. That's what I worry about the DQs of it all. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at right
That's gonna get Fury out of that contract if that ends in a disqualification.
there. Oh, for real?
If he go if because he don't want Wilder to beat him anyway.
Hmm.
But I feel like that's his way out. In this fight, if he can get disqualified, okay, nobody really lost. I mean, you can't say he beat me, and then that will free him up in that contract. And now he can go make a fight. Well, my man just lost. They was trying to make the AJ fight, so that money is gone now.
I before you go, look, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all come back in. I gotta get your take on the AJ fight, but let me read this chat. Philip, the love's real is real trust in the building. What's poppin' King? Thank you for joining the show. He said, first time hearing your show, Miss T. Heard you on Fred's show. Figured out I'll check you out. Salute. Thank you for coming in. Reggie Bell said, thanks, coach. Philip says, Miss T, what's up? What's good? So you gotta tell me what you think about the Joshua fight. Got to. That just happened.
I mean,
Coach,
it's AJ.
yeah.
He did what he always do. He ain't got no heart. He ain't got no heart. Anybody who really put it to him, the only time I see him show heart is when he fought old Klitschko, old man Klitschko. Now I thought, okay, we got a real one now. But that was the only time I saw that. I think that fight made him change, and start looking at boxing differently. Like anytime I see him really test it and get hit, he start acting scared. He came in this fight, he fought this fight scared. He looked like a scared fighter the whole fight.
You can see it in his eyes, with because it's crunch time now. Deontay about to get that belt back. You gonna about to be in the hot seat again. You avoided Deontay. I don't know how you could be a heavyweight and be scared of another man. Like, come on.
Before the fight, he already admitted that he already said that he wasn't gonna fight Wilder.
Yeah, because he was stall. Remember how he tried to stall him out, and then he said some bullshit like, "You know what? I'll fight you if you give me 50 million." There you go. There you go.
They made the money. Hmm.
Yeah.
He
Then
still turned it down.
humming. Come on, dog.
Yeah,
He's
that fight wasn't that impressive, man. And that guy that beat him, what's his name? Yusuf
Usyk.
Usyk.
Yeah.
Usyk he's not impressive to me either. He
Whoa.
get hit too much. I believe Wilder would sleep him. That depending on how much damage. Well, I gotta see how. I don't know how much this damage did to Wilder. You know what I'm saying? We got to see him.
Yeah.
I got to see how he looking here with Fury. If he look like the old Wilder where he's like ain't took no real damage and he looks healthy,
Yeah.
then I can see him knocking Usyk out. Cause Usyk too easy to hit. Look at Usyk's eyes. You know how slow AJ is? AJ landed a lot of punches on that dude. If Wilder is fast, people get like they don't really pay attention to Wilder's hand speed. He really has a fastball coming at you, man. It's hard to get out of the way of that damn right hand when he throw it straight. He really is fast, and Usyk is gonna get hit, and you can't. He get hit way too much, and I can't see him beating Wilder.
I could be wrong, but I have never seen a boxer, heavyweight or not, hit somebody on the top of their head, like near the forehead, and knock them the fuck out.
Yeah,
Chin, side by the ears, all that, but just straight on top of the head, like he did Ortiz. And I know
yeah.
Ortiz won't try to take no dive. Motherfucking Wilder is the truth. Like, I don't know if he got Poseidon in that motherfucker or Zeus himself when he throw that
That's
goddamn
just straight genetic. That's that Alabama cornbread.
sweet water, some banana pudding and
That
all
dude
that
he's
good
just a
stuff.
freak of nature, man. Some people are just a freak of nature, like 1 in 10 million. You know, to have that kind of punching power that he has, and he just found his way into boxing. Like you get hit by that right hand, I don't care who the hell you are, you're going to sleep. He's gonna knock you out. No matter if you 6'9", 275 pounds like Fury, he's gonna knock you out. You can't take that punch.
And
Usyk get hit too much.
now see, I was watching the fight, and I imagine Usyk did get hit by AJ, but I wasn't thinking he was getting hit too because he slips a lot. But
Did
what
you look at his
than-
face?
he's shorter than Wilder and Tyson Fury, and I'm saying they can hit him all top of his head and everywhere, and so he got to be careful of that. But you saying he get hit too much?
He get hit way too much. Look at the fight after the fight. Both his eyes were damn near closed, cut up, bleeding, face black and blue. Like he like in a car accident. Like if he get there and he fight Wilder, all it's gonna take is one. He's not gonna take those kind of punches from Deontay Wilder. That fight is God. I think he'll fight Wilder too. I don't think he's scary like AJ.
Let me read some of these chats right quick. Philip said Wilder looks stronger. I hope he just stays patient and sees the shot. Yeah, that's kind of what Coach saying. And activist said all day swamp water. I think he talking about what we freaking
Right, he's strong, man.
motherfucker bring it from Mississippi. Uh, Demetrius Bright said if you had a super chat, I would like to make a donation, but I don't mess with Cash App. Oh, thank you, Demetrius. I can't. I gotta earn my stripes like everybody else. One day I will get to that super chat level. Noah GX Wilder's experience with Southpaws. Usyk is a
He
Southpaw.
right, cause everyone he fought, so all the southpaws he knocked them out.
That's a good point there, Noah.
One of them he almost killed.
Who was that Spilker?
Spilker, he almost killed him. I
That
thought that dude was dead.
the convulsions, didn't he?
Nah,
Demetrius.
he just did he? No, that's not the one with the convulsions. What is it?
Yeah, like when he fell, because Spilker actually act like it seemed like he was, hanging in there with Joshua. I mean with
With Wild, they carried him out on the stretcher
Joshua
though.
ropes and just it's like the way he went at him. When he went at him, it's like Wilder just connected like beautifully. That motherfucker got to shake it. If
They
you talk
carried him out the ring on a stretcher with a neck brace and everything. It was.
about that part. Demetrius Bright said yes, both Wilder and Fury and Ortiz will beat Usyk. Wow, I wouldn't even think about Ortiz too. You know who
Yeah.
tried to jump in there to get a fight with Usyk? Joe Joyce, the Juggernaut, big mummy swinging motherfucker.
Nah, none of them boys don't want to see Ortiz. My man is right. Nobody want to see Ortiz. They try to downplay him and say he old, but that dude would beat probably everybody in the heavyweight division, other than Fury and Wilder. Like he said, I agree.
You know what? I honestly think that Ortiz could beat Fury. I just don't think he could beat Wilder.
Well, we know he can't beat Wilder. He had 2 shots.
You do it once, twice, 3 times a late. It
It
don't
don't matter.
don't matter. Reggie Bell said Fury set up like the Undertaker from that right hand, but any other time the ref would have even counted it out. And
Yeah, they
that's
would wave it off as soon as he hit
not
the floor.
we
That's where it
know
should be.
Jack Reese have waved off lesser things. That's why me and active activists had it. Look, he said active activists like laugh out loud because he know we had this debate. We I understand from the active activist point of view that the ref has the discretion, all the discretion in
Uh,
the world. However, if you unconscious, fight over.
Fight over. Everybody wake up eventually. They all wake up. So they say, oh,
Hopefully,
he got up. Nigga, all of them get up. You know what I'm saying? After a few minutes, they all get up. But for that split second, when he hit that canvas, it was done. My man
you
say Spilker woke up at the hospital.
exactly. So everybody who kept saying that it was a draw or that he won, BFTV pointed out yesterday that the UK judge is the reason why the fight was a draw in the first place. Fight was over. And this
Over.
bullshit that Wilder only got 2 rounds in that first fight. Oh, but this is what I'm saying when I say the average. Coach G. So the way Fury fight, you say he's an excellent boxer. Take him his size and morph it down to a 140 pounder. What is he? Is he all that?
No, his size is what add to his skill. He got the reach, the height. He can lean back, and you can't hit him because he's damn near 7 foot tall. Like, he got the perfect style for his size. He just ain't got no power. But he'll
That,
box circles around almost anybody in the heavyweight division.
that's what I was saying when I argued that Fury is average. If it weren't for his height and weight, and what's beautiful about this whole thing is that the man is huge, probably one of the biggest heavyweights we got, right? But he can move like these little
But
guys.
that's what make him good is that he isn't a 140 pounder. He's a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
So called for like what he is. He's masterful as a heavyweight boxer, man.
Don't set traps. You can still do that. Ortiz is like the better boxer out of all of them to me.
Ortiz don't have the speed that Fury got though. He's more flat footed. He's set right in front of you. That lateral movement is a bitch, man. I'm telling you. You fighting a guy who can move with that lateral movement. It's hard to hit a moving target, especially
That
one that's shooting back at you.
Philip Philip said that punch he landed on Fury didn't even land flush, and he knocked Fury down in the first fight. If
Mm-hmm.
he ever connects, oh, most definitely Philip. Noah says Spilker woke up at the hospital. Of course, the active activist laughing, and then Philip said, "Imagine if Wilder had a body attack consistent with his power." Wow, true
Yeah,
that,
that's what he need. He
true.
need to. Wilder just need. They trying to make all these extra like adjustments to his game plan. He really good how he is. He just need to stop headhunting. He need to throw the right hand in multiple areas: the body, the chest, and the face, and the head. Stop throwing everything at the damn head. It's so easy. Anytime you see him flinch with that right hand, you know it's coming straight for your head. So you just get your head off line and he gonna miss. That's all Fury was doing, making him miss the right hand every time it came at his head. But if Wilder would throw it at the chest or throw it to the body and like make you guess where he's gonna throw it at, he's gonna be more accurate. He's gonna land that bitch more often if you're guessing, because you're not gonna guess right every time. But if you're throwing it at my head every single time, I know where the right hand is coming. You're never gonna hit me with it, and that's where Fury look at it.
Okay. Noah said Jared in parentheses new big baby Anderson is the next American champ. Yeah, but you know what?
He too little.
I think
He's too little.
I wondered, like Malik Scott did an interview with Fred Barbershop Conversation. He was talking about a sparring partner. He wouldn't say the person name. I cannot for the life of me guess. I wish I could. But they was like he went in there thinking he was the bomb.com. He went out there humble. Said Wilder knocked his ass out the ring. And
But
Wilder
I
tried
heard
to gentleman to
he
show
was
that.
beating Fury up though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard he was beating Fury up in his training camp.
yeah, man, FA. You know, the active activist said Wilder would explode somebody liver. Oh shit, I can believe him breaking up some shit up in the inside. Phillips said, "Yes, sir, coach." And then Reggie Bell said Wilder really need to straighten that right hand out, sidestep, come straight down the middle once in a while. I mean, he need to do all that too, Reggie. Like that's what Malik is supposed to be bringing to the arsenal. And as Malik said, it was already there. We're just fine tuning it and making it so repetitive that it's second nature. That
I think he's trying to teach Wilder too much. Like a lot of the stuff that I think he can confuse Wilder. Like Wilder ain't no slick boxer. So you should be trying to make him into a slick boxer. Slick boxers learn that shit as kids and they grow up. Fury is a slick boxer. It took years to master that. Wilder's not going to master that in no year or two. It's just not possible. He's not going to get that. They just need to focus on mixing and matching that right hand. That's all. Make his opponents guess where that right hand gonna come, and he's gonna land it. Stop trying to teach him all this footwork and bobbing and all this extra stuff they're trying to teach him. He's too stiff. He's not that coordinated. He's not good. That's not gonna work for him. He's not gonna be able to outbox Tyson Fury. That's not gonna happen. He needs to come in a little flat footed, but mix that right hand up. That's all he gotta do. Make you guess where that right hand comes. It comes so hard and so fast, you're already scared of it. So if I know where it's gonna land at, I'm gonna be least scared of it. But if I got to guess where that right hand is gonna be landing, it makes me more afraid of it. It makes me respect it more, and it makes you make mistakes. And that's all he got to do. Force Fury into making mistakes because he can't guess where that right hand is gonna go. But if he know where that right hand is gonna go, he's comfortable and he's gonna be right on plan, and you're never gonna land it.
Mhm. So Phillips said that kid Frank, whatever his last name is the next man up if he gets his feet together. Not sure who that guy is, but Frank can't think of. And Demetrius Bright said Fury is 6'9" and is the purest boxer at heavyweight.
Without a
IMO.
doubt.
He said IMO. That might be an acronym, yo. I'm slow on the uptake of the lingo these days. IMO. Um, but he is a cheat at all levels. Hopefully, Wilder punishes him and then KO him. And we all hoping that from our lips to God's ears. Reggie Bell said he loads that right hand. It's predictable most of the time. Reggie,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because he set a trap for Luis. It's not like Wilder don't know some of this stuff. And I always go back when people say he can't box. Look at the Bermain Stefan first fight. He won that totally boxing him. He didn't knock
Yep.
Bermain out. And the nigga went to the Olympics. So last time I checked, boxing is the emphasis when you're in the Olympics. Reggie Bell said, I said that active activist said straight right to the body, win gone instantly. Facts. Uh, Phillips said Wilder should target the left side of Fury's chest. I like that too. Active activist said, in my opinion. Okay. Demetrius Bright said Wilder needs to slip him duck that Fury left hook. Slip and duck the Fury left hook. Noah said, IMO is, in my opinion. Okay. Good. Look, look. What I always say at the end of my show. When you know better, you do better. Now I learned that, but Noah, don't get mad at me because I might forget. Y'all might have to tell me several little times. I'm getting up there in age. Demetrius said, my opinion. Butch Cassidy in the building was Poppy King. What up, Miss T? Dropping in the show. Love and support. Thank you very much. Philip say Frank St. Sanchez. He is fighting on my sister calling me right now. He is fighting on that undercard while they're on the undercard. And I think he fighting Anderson, right?
I'm not sure.
I think he is. Either way, he's on that undercard. So is Jared Big Baby Anderson. Um, Reggie Bell said, I guess you said I tired boxer can't move out the way if they see it or not when it's fast. A tired boxer, okay, yeah. Um, so look, I ain't gonna hold Coach G up too much. I want to thank him. He trains every day. Coach G, do you have anything you want to tell them where they can find you at, or look up some of the stuff that you
They can go on there and check out my little protege, Caden the Mongoose G.
There
The
we
next
go.
big thing in the next 8 years, he gunning for the Olympics on Knuckle Game Boxing Academy and Facebook.
Okay.
Got some video. I'm gonna be uploading the video in there probably tomorrow, a more current one of
Y'all
him.
go and like his Facebook or get in his Facebook, follow him or whatever. Knuckle Game. You got Instagram and WhatsApp.
I got it, but I'm never on there. The only
Uh,
one I'll be on is Facebook.
no, I just got an Instagram. I'm hardly ever on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I seen this little kid. He's sweet too. Y'all look. I don't know if you feel this way, but when I look at your kid, I'm thinking Thomas Hearns.
Because
Uh,
the way he built.
yeah, the way he built,
Mm-hmm.
and he got power. You could tell. Demetrius Bryce said Jabba Sanchez versus a Jabba on
That's
that
gonna be a
other
good
card.
fight.
Philip, that's a good fight, coach.
Mm-hmm.
And Philip said, Miss T, these youngsters always teaching me they new lingo too. Laugh out loud, don't feel bad. I know I can't feel bad. I can't keep up. I got all my generation in there and it's stuck. They don't want to make no room. Philip, what he fighting the Jabba? Oh no, too soon. uh Active Activist Knuckle Game Boxing Academy. Yes, sir.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Demetrius Bright. Salute, coach. Reggie
Appreciate
Bell.
it, man.
I'm back after the fight, coach. Straight up. And
Most
Philip,
definitely.
I'm hardly ever on Facebook or Insta. What's the kid's name again? What's your
If you
kid's
can
name?
just go in Google and just type in Caden the Mongoose G, it'll come up. You see a lot of his videos on there.
Hey, tell him how to spell Caden name.
Caden.
Caden. Because I
Mm-hmm.
would have thought Caden.
Caden G, last name Gee.
Yeah, that's his last name. Caden G.
Mm-hmm.
Caden. Last name Gee.
Right here in Augusta, Georgia.
Right out of Augusta, Georgia. He nice too. And Coach know, like I said, Coach know what he be talking about. I know he like to be humble. He playing the humble guy. But now Coach be the truth. Coach know what he talking about. I learned a lot from listening to you and talking to you and watching you in
Appreciate
action.
that.
And I think
Appreciate that.
remember I had my nephew up there, Bocadocious.
Yeah, I love that little dude, man.
Yeah, yeah. I
How's
wish
he doing?
he a grown man now. You know, they all
Yeah,
finished
that
high.
was a while ago. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's shooting up, coach. He's the
Yep,
doctor's
tell him that's right.
six
He got
feet.
the name right.
Yeah. Petty ass boxing. Whoa, this is a good channel. Thank you. Uh, Philip, salute, coach. But Petty, welcome to the show. What's
Thank
popping?
you, man.
And the activist Kaden Mongoose. Yes, sir. The activist. We're gonna get up out of
Now
here.
he ain't on YouTube.
He's on
I didn't
Facebook.
put him on you. He's only on Facebook.
He's on his Facebook. Like,
Yeah, but if you type his name in Google, it should come up.
yeah. Okay, y'all heard that, right? Uh, Philip said I can't find him on YouTube. Nah, yeah, so that's what he was just addressed. But thank y'all for tuning in, Coach. Thank you for closing out this week. We gotta have you on more often, or whenever some shit be hopping off. We definitely gotta get you in here and tell us how you feel and all that, cause you the go-to guy at this point for me.
Okay. Well, I'm here for you.
To
This is
put
fun.
oh, okay. So remember, y'all, when y'all know better, y'all do better. That's how I always end my show. And we out.